Cavaliers. 3-on-1, but they move the ball. Backside, Watson looking for the rope. He's got it.
It's huge. For my whole life, I've been playing this sport. My dad's my high school coach, and he's a coach, and I've grown up with the sport, and I've come to these Final Fours forever. And I just need one of these championships to make my career feel complete.
A slightly damp but very excited Bird Stadium in College Park getting set for a huge matchup. The NCAA Division I Lacrosse Championships, the best against the best, featuring the #1 seed Princeton Tigers taking on the team from Virginia. The Cavaliers against Princeton, two of the best offenses in the game. From College Park, hi everyone, I'm Leif Elsmo, bringing you my 13th straight championship, proud to do so, joined by four-time All-American Quint Kesnick. Quint, you played in the goal, you were here for Hopkins in '89 last time, but this game is not about defense.
This game is about offense and firepower on both sides of the field. The two best offenses in lacrosse. Let's take a look at the Virginia Stars. Doug Knight, 55 goals. He's a real great dodger. Michael Watson, right-handed player, he can light it up. And the quarterback for the Virginia team is Timmy Whiteley. He's the assist guy. He distributes the ball so well. For Princeton, you got three different sophomores. Jesse Hubbard with a ton of goals. Massey, the tremendous penetrator from behind. And Hess, he runs the show on the left-handed wing.
And look at the numbers underneath those graphics we showed you. Both had great semifinal games. We expect a lot out of them in this final. But you know what? There's a big story between the pipes. You know there's a lot of pressure in a championship game on a goalie. This game, maybe more than most.
Huge pressure in this game for both Cairns and Sanderson. And these aren't the best goalies in the country, certainly. Look at the percentages, 55 for Sanderson, 57 for Cairns. They'll be tested because these shooters are fabulous. Princeton has a little advantage, though. Their backup goalie, Pancho Gutstein, has seen action this season and, in fact, really did a great job in relief of Cairns against Syracuse in the semifinals.
So maybe the biggest difference is there is somebody in the bullpen for Princeton. You know, weather could be a factor. Our partner in broadcast, Christy Lee, is down on the field talking about the weather conditions that could make a change in this game.
Well, things are definitely less than perfect. We're under the lights at 11 a.m., and it's been drizzling, raining for 3 days straight, which is causing saturation of the playing field. The guys are wearing these cleats today, the little bit longer. They have the smoother surface so that the mud in the grass doesn't clump up, which in theory makes for better traction. We're going to have to wait and see if that theory holds true. Slip sliding away, that could mean mistakes, and mistakes could win or lose our championship. Leif?
Well, Virginia and Princeton looking to make history today, but each team has a history. Let's look back. 1972, the last time the Cavaliers won the national championship, led by Jay Connor, the great feeder. This team beat Hopkins in a one-goal game on this field. Just 2 years ago, it was Virginia against Princeton. This overtime goal gave the Princeton Tigers their championship. They haven't lost in this game yet. They're 2-0. Who will win today? We'll be back for the opening face-off from Bird in just a moment.
On that day, a team of men was assembled to battle the forces of evil.
Championships, the crowd pouring in, a potential record crowd. This weekend is such an event in the lacrosse world. Virginia against Princeton in this final. The best of the best in Division I lacrosse. Leif Elsmo along with Quint Kesnick and our broadcast partner, Christy Lee. They're all here, the Wahoo fans, the Princeton fans. And we are in for a great one. The Wahoos last winning in '72. It's been a long draft queue, 25 years for them. Princeton 2-0. They won just 2 years ago on this very field.
These two teams met earlier this season, and it was all Virginia. Virginia went up 10-0 in that game and then coasted to the victory the rest of the way. You're taking a good look at Michael Watson, one of the fabulous attackmen. Take a look at some of the numbers. Quarterfinal, Virginia blowing out Harvard 23-12. And in the semifinal 2 days ago, they cruised over Hopkins. Princeton with wins over Towson and Syracuse.
Princeton wanting to control things a little bit. They can run and gun on you, but they get the opening face-off of this one. A lot of experience on this team. James Mitchell brings it down for his team. He's only a junior. And the pure sophomore attack. This is Hess starting in his offensive end. Gives it up to the wing. This is Hubbard, the big gun. More of the shooter of that trio. Puts up some big numbers. Gets it off to Don McDonough, one of the senior members of this team. And they take their time putting some fresh legs on the field. Eichelberger, another guy, Quinn, who plays both midfield and attack.
Eichelberger, predominantly a feeder, a ball distributor. He looks to draw the double team and then give it up to a teammate.
Working one-on-one, looking for help. Good defense applied in front. Shot! And a goal early on. It's the big cannon, Hubbard. and he rockets one on Sanderson. Sanderson's so important to get comfortable in this game. They gave him a good shot right in front of the 36 square feet.
And this was such a great choreographed play. This is what they practiced all day yesterday. First possession, Eichelberger dodging towards the middle, and he finds Hubbard coming off the double screen in front. And Hubbard got the righty cannon, beats Sanderson down low. Here it is again, Eichelberger, the leading assist player at Princeton, for the leading goal getter, Hubbard. If Hubbard can get 12 or more shots, things will go well for Princeton today.
Ben Strutt takes this face-off and brings it in for Princeton, who looks pretty strong off the face-offs. Kristen Cook brings down the long stick, being dragged very heavily by Ginter, the long pole defenseman for Virginia. Here comes Princeton. They have owned the ball for this first minute and 10 seconds. 2 straight face-offs, and of course that'll be key for them. They're a team that can run and gun with you, but they like possession, they like things control. The field looks like it's holding up well to the weather. Right now, Hess now trying to control against the tough defense of Mahoney. This is a matchup that may be interesting today.
Yeah, John Hess thinks he has the superior quickness advantage over Mahoney. Look for Bill Tierney and Princeton to attack Mahoney, to attack Zeller and Smith on the low corners of the Virginia defense.
Ball now works back to Bonsbach. Junior from Colorado, he falls, the defenseman falls. Here comes Bonsbach, slide, happens, easy goal, backdoor, 2-0 Princeton, and Virginia got nailed on a slip by the defender. 2 passes, backdoor goal.
This field is extremely slick, and we see a result right there. Bonsbach, Melchione fell to the turf. Bonsbach joins him, but he regains his footing and finds Ogier all alone on the backside. Virginia was forced to slide across the front of the cage.
And Quentin, those 2 shots, that one in particular, not an easy save, but both savable shots. And Sanderson, backdoor, you can't really give him that. The first one had no screen on it. Sanderson has to get one on his stick to feel comfortable. So far, 2 shots, 2 goals.
And Virginia doesn't really have a capable backup goalie, so they're stuck with Sanderson regardless of how he plays.
2 goals in 1 minute, a 2-0 lead for Princeton. And they did not get into their zone in 10 seconds. It'll go back to Virginia, their first offense. And guess what? They are hungry to put some pressure on Cairns. Bill Tierney on the sideline. Look at the intensity of that coach.
9th year at Princeton for Tierney. 2 national titles in 92 and 94. 64 and 10. That's his record in the past 5 years.
Faceoff's not looking good for Princeton, for Virginia. 3-0 for Princeton so far, early in the game, of course. But so far, they look real comfortable with the surroundings. Here goes Watson, 1-on-1. Coming in, looking for backdoor. It's Whiteley. Trying to work it around, get the backdoor shot. Knight wants to go. He gets it checked out of his stick. Here comes Princeton, looking for the fast break. Overshoots Katz. Katz gets it back. Here they come. Massey up front. There's Hess. Defense knocks it down. Mahoney got a piece of it, and that one bounces wide. So Mahoney saved that one from going into Sanderson, and it's backed up beautifully by Sanderson.
Rob Neff, the long stick, making a beautiful ground ball in front, missing the cage. But Hubbard with the goose at the midfield line to Katz. Sensational play. Sensational.
Tucker Radeball brings it down to Watson. Now back to Whiteley. Watch 14. He's the quarterback of this team, the senior. He wants to put pressure right there. Shot wide. Both of these teams like to go to the goal. I tell you what, this is exciting for these lacrosse fans. This is exactly the tempo they wanted to see. They want these offenses to unlock the door, get the sticks moving.
Princeton's going to switch up defensively today between a man-to-man and a zone. Right now, they're in a man-to-man.
Whiteley taking charge, tried to get it back door. He's looking all the way across the field to Leahy, I believe, and could not get him. Princeton leads the series 5-4 at the 94 championship. That 1-goal overtime win right here at Byrd Stadium. It's a much nicer day. We thought that maybe the wet conditions might affect Princeton a little bit. We'll have to see. The game's very young. But Virginia was the first team to really lose their feet and give advantage to Princeton. Now they settle it down. You know, these 2 teams played early on. As we see Eichelberger not going to the cage. It's being in defense by Tucker Radeball. This might be a matchup they like. Radeball, only a freshman.
And Radeball played attack in high school, so his experience is limited defensively.
So they get it back to Radeball. They want this matchup. They give it to a different player. This is McBean against Radeball. They're trying to expose the young kid. Great talent, but he's a freshman. Here comes the slide. Cross crease, leaving back door open. Go! Massey gets rope on the far side. 3-0. Princeton owns it. Watch for a timeout soon. as this one's getting away from the Cavaliers.
And Virginia slides aggressively, but when you're playing against Princeton, that's not the greatest strategy. They're used to playing against an aggressive defense. They play against one every day in practice. And that time, Massey, with time and room from about 10 yards, no one is shooting the ball better than Chris Massey right now. He's got hat tricks in 8 straight games.
When they played earlier this season, Quinn, it was Virginia off to a 10-0 start. Right now, it's 3-0 Princeton doing the exact same thing with the Cavaliers. The only loss of the year in '96 was Princeton losing to Virginia. Jeff McBean talked about that loss earlier this season and his thoughts about whether it might help him.
I guess it's still in the back of our minds. Obviously, we'd like to win, to prove that it was, it was no best effort. But I think it also is telling us that, hey, this is a good team and they can do a lot of things to us. And we've got to be ready. We've got to be prepared, or else, it might happen again.
Well, McBean talked about the comfort level or how that first would affect them. And we look at Cairns, who just took Watson in the face. Watson shooting from about 36 inches, gets a diving goal to make it 3-1.
And the signature move for Michael Watson and Doug Knight, they go straight to the goal. They make no bones about it. They don't shake and bake. They don't do much dancing. They go straight to the goal. A lot of times they'll end up in the crease, but they're extremely tough to stop.
Crowd pouring in here. Forget the weather. This is the greatest matchup of the year and the biggest game of the year for Division I lacrosse. And a good look at the conditions and the face-off. Now, these 6 players have to get possession before the other players are released. Princeton has owned the face-off so far, and here they get another. Picked off in midair. Here goes Virginia. They like the unsettled. Whiteley looks to Watson. They're looking out front. Melchione was open, but nobody gives it to him, and Princeton drops back in. Whiteley wants to take charge of this game. We saw him in the open. This means so much to the senior. Melchione to the far side. David Curry, talking about great shooters. This one's right here. Curry thought he had a little bit of something to shoot at. Curry is, talking about on fire. This guy is electric.
Curry, the transfer from Gettysburg College, where he was a Division III All-American, and he has fit in. Former attackman, again, playing midfield this season.
Whiteley getting hammered by the defense of Princeton. They're really working him over tough. That's Beckett Wolf, possibly the best defenseman. Usually the guy who gets the most dangerous assignment defensively. Princeton into a zone. Virginia taking the time against it. Virginia with a run against style has seen plenty of zone. Watson feeling good, wants to go one-on-one against the zone. He'll get a slide. 2 on him. Back to Whiteley. Looking up, they want to rotate it around to the backside of that zone quickly to try to get a little bit of room for shots. Curry's got one. Now to Melchione. Watson working the side. Pushing in. Got room. And he's got room. 3-2. The old 5-hole. He wheeled against, pulled it on string on Cairns and goes right between the legs.
A lot of times against the zone defense, you've got to carry, you've got to draw the slide and look to dodge for yourself. Watson right here draws the double team and then fades away from the cage with a fadeaway jump shot, freezing the goaltender because of that overhand motion. Watch the stick work of Watson right here, straight overhand, and what that does is freezes the goalie high. You shoot it low. Michael Watson, certainly the best in the business from that area, from that right-hander spot at about 10 yards.
And you'll see Doug Knight on the other side, number 7, before this day is out. He'll drive that side. You'll see Curry fire from the outside. He's a long-range shooter for Virginia. Good check. That was also a lot of time off the clock. The first rest Sanderson and the defense has had, Quint. Give that Virginia team a little bit of time to settle down. Time violation. They didn't get it into their offensive box, that offensive zone, in 10 seconds. Virginia gets it back.
And both goalies don't look particularly strong early on.
Have we had a save yet? I'm not sure.
Cairns made one save off the shoulder, but it didn't look like he was all over it.
Wren throws it away. Now they're still scrapping on the loose surface. Big check keeps it alive. Here goes Princeton. Very smart with their passes as they bring it up. Kramer off to McBean, the leader we saw talk about the opening loss to Virginia earlier game this season. They just settle things down a lot. Princeton presents so many problems for you defensively because not only do they have great individual talent, the team concept is good as anybody in the country. Off-ball movement is continual.
Yeah, there's a lot of picks and strains in front of the cage and balance. Princeton, they can go to 6 or 7 different guys when they need a goal.
McBean had room, and the sliding long stick comes off on him. Virginia now doing a better job of balancing Mahoney now out of the ball. Weingrad comes out to get a little bit of attention on Hess. Low shot, and finally one hits a stick. The backup shot goes wide. A good first save for Sanderson to give him a little bit of time to settle down. Virginia's changing somebody on the defense event. This is really critical. How the heck they're doing this? This is man short. They got away with one there. Virginia changed a man when they were on the defensive end. So all intents and purposes, it was a 6-on-5 for that shot, and they got away with it.
From point-blank range, Princeton with 2 quality shots on the cage. You've got to finish those opportunities.
McBean. Out front, the playing time. Hess down, goes behind. Matchup they don't mind now. Going off the field is McBean. They got a fresh player on. Time winding down the first quarter. 5 goals scored in, well, probably the first 6 minutes of this game. A lot of offense, as we predicted, and I think that probably makes both teams feel comfortable, Quint. They got that out of their system. They don't have to hold it. They're just going to go ahead and play lacrosse. Good check against Bonsbach. Ball loose. Can they get it? No, Bonsbach looks up. He'll look to the top of the crease. One pass there. Watch out. Ozier, a great 2-sport athlete for Princeton. Plays for the basketball team. This is really his first year, Quint Ozier's, that he got the full weeks of practicing for the lacrosse team.
That's right. He left the basketball team in December after a holiday tournament, really to concentrate on lacrosse. Certainly one of the best athletes on the Princeton Tiger roster.
Bonsbach against Okie. He couldn't get it now. Virginia's got to pick that ball up. They did a great job. They didn't collect. Virginia on the run, as deadly as anybody. Watch him. He's got some room. He's got time. He's got a shot that was picked off by Cairns. Cairns looked him right in the eye and took that one out of the sky.
And you can see Michael Watson mixing it up. Scored earlier low. That time he was trying to get the goalie going down, maybe guessing low. But Cairns, not a guess goalie, generally will see the ball and give every shot an honest effort.
Hess now controls for Princeton. Still 3-2, about 5:24 left as you see the clock moving down in the first quarter. Hess against Mahoney. A matchup he felt that he knew. He knew Mahoney from the Empire Games in New York.
Mahoney has not been tested this year. Seldom do teams have 3 quality attackmen where they can pick out a guy that they want to isolate against. But we call Mahoney's name a lot. He's faced up against Hess, and Princeton's going to go with Hess. They're going to take him to the cooker.
As he coming in, shot up top by Hess, looking to shoot. He didn't take it. Hoig came out and shut him down. Short stick defender Hoig is another story that we'll get into. Brad Hoig, 24. Watch him. He doesn't have a long stick, but this team from Princeton respects him so much they don't want to go one-on-one against him. Man down again for Virginia, a little bit unsettled. Watch back door. Couldn't collect. Out of bounds. It'll go to Sanderson and the Wahoos.
That was a super look by Ozier, slicing that feed through the defense. Hess could not control it. Again, Virginia very aggressive with their defense. Take a look at the shots. Princeton doing a nice job, but Virginia making the most of their shots.
Virginia, this is the clear again. They have thrown the ball pretty erratically in the middle of the field.
Virginia, they're known for their bounce passes, but certainly today on this wet grass surface, not the ideal place or time for that kind of bounce pass.
Hard to read unless you're shooting at a goalie who doesn't want that uncertainty.
And the ball really skims. When you hit this wet grass, accelerates, stays lower than it would on a dry surface.
McDonough will inbound. Goes back to Cairns, the goalie. Still 3-2. We're in the first quarter. Princeton got off to a 3-0 start. They controlled every opening faceoff. And Virginia followed up with a 2-goal run of their own to make this a little more comfortable for them. Tommy Smith is 44. It's the first time we've seen him play defense. And this is against Massey. Tommy Smith considered their best defenseman. And he makes the big check and shows why.
Going to be a loose ball hold against Smith.
Smith with a big check, held up Massey so he couldn't get the ball when it was on the ground, and Rich Tamburino makes the call.
And Smith and Massey, that matchup, you got to favor Smith right there. Last time these two teams played, Massey only had 1 goal. Smith's got that great foot quickness and some upper body strength, and Massey has problems with him.
A big leader Smith is on the defensive end of the field. He likes to assert himself. Matter of fact, the All-American rankings came out today, and he got a pretty good award for his effort. First team, I believe. Eichelberger gets it checked out. Ginter working him hard, puts it down on the grass. Here goes a potential fast break, couldn't pick it up. Here comes Whiteley. looking far side. Whiteley drives it down low, back to his teammate coming in, Watson. Watson looking continually to the player coming up behind him to try to get a good shot on the trailing player.
That's where Virginia can sting you. Their attack, they're so good at getting the loose balls off the grass and converting the transition opportunities.
Brad Hoig, defensive specialist, but this guy's an athlete. He can stink the goals. He can shoot. And look at this. They're going to let Hoig go one-on-one. Great athlete, could have played football, elected to stay with Lacrosse. Coming around front, looking for help. Inside by Hoig. Great save by Cairns. Hoig against 4 defenders and still gets a nice shot off.
Hoig actually did play for the Virginia football team for a year as a defensive back. They wanted to switch him to running back, but he thought he'd get killed. He's only about 6 foot, 180 pounds, but certainly a Division I athlete in the highest sense. Here it is again, Hoig with the tremendous explosion on the near side. Little shake and bake. Watch the change of direction right here. Turns towards the cage. His shooting is the one thing that's suspect, and Cairns had a good read on that one. These 2 players know each other back from their high school days, competing against each other in the Maryland-Baltimore area.
Cairns for Boys Lac and Loyola for Hoig in the Maryland area. Here we go with Whiteley looking for somebody out front. He's got a backdoor man open. That zone for Princeton, taking away the high percentage shots. That's the goal of the zone. Harrington gets up the wing to Watson. 3 saves so far today by Cairns. Cairns coming in to take another pressure chest, and this is on the back of the net. Cairns looking more comfortable. They have 10 seconds to get it up. Watch the timing. They may not do it. They've got 10. It's close. Just barely if they get it. 10 seconds to this zone. You have plenty of time in this zone to get it here. Now they've got 10 seconds to get to their offensive zone. A little primer on the clearing rules of Lacrosse. Here goes UVA. They love the running gun. Watch on the far side. Who's there? Whiteley picks it up. Back to Watson. There's the far side. Just knocked down. What a beautiful saving check by Beckett Wolf. Pushed by Beckett Wolf.
That was a terrific.
Trying to find Knight on the back door, and that is dangerous.
If Knight had been able to catch that ball, he's trouble right there. Beckett Wolf getting his stick in the passing lane.
They have an eye on Knight. They know Knight can just explode for as many as 7 goals a game. He's done it this year twice. He is dangerous. Knight, number 7. He was all New England in both soccer and lacrosse. Another great athlete. This ball being thrown away. The wet sticks possibly causing some trouble handling the ball. UVA trying to get the possession back to Sanderson to throw it out of bounds and give it back to Princeton. About a minute to go in the first quarter. 3-2 the score. Princeton with a 1-goal lead. And I'll tell you what, they were looking for a pretty comfortable first quarter. They were off to a 3-0 lead. Virginia answered it 2.
And you can see Sanderson, the Canadian product out of Orangeville, Canada, really not very strong out of the cage. In box lacrosse, seldom will a goalie roam outside the crease. We've seen 2 mistakes so far by Sanderson on a pass and now receiving that last pass from Zeller.
He's still on the learning curve. Last year's starting goalie, Kurt Sterling, quit the team halfway through the season, so Sanderson is the man. And this team thinks he is every bit of a man enough to make this one stick. Inside, Uggenberger comes around. No defensive slide. He's got goal number 4, a 2-goal lead for the Princeton Tigers.
Jeff McBean, the senior, with a sweet feed right here. Drawing the Virginia defense towards him and then finding Ike all alone. One-on-one versus Sanderson. Watch the fakes. Little shake and bake, head fake, gets Sanderson to commit and finds the empty net. Again, McBean makes the shot, sees the field so well, and Ike sticks it.
Played at Landon's goal in the D.C. area, an area that has given them a lot of their stars to the team from Princeton. Sanderson tries to get it right back up. Mahoney up to Rada ball. Time winding down, 19 seconds in this first quarter. Watson's aware of that. They've got to hurry to get a shot off. Knight, been pretty quiet so far. He wants to get a little action of his own. 9 seconds left to get a shot off. The clock's still going, down to 5. Watson. He reaches in, an unbelievable shot by Watson to make it a 4-3 game. And it's been an all Watson show for Virginia. He's got all 3 of their goals. He took a page out of Knight's book, goes lefty on him, and he didn't have almost any room to shoot. He took every bit of it.
This is unbelievable. Watson knows the clock's ticking down, wraps around one-handed with his offhand. He's a right-handed player. Sticks it in his left hand. Take a look at the clock. Watson lunging around. Nothing the goaltender can do about that one. Michael Watson on fire with the hat trick.
He's got 3. We knew a lot of attention would be given tonight. We knew Whiteley's the quarterback, and it's leaving Watson with a little bit of room to do what he wants. We'll take a short break. When we come back, Bird Stadium will unroll quarter number 2 of the Division I Lacrosse Championships. Right now, Princeton leads 4-3.
Speed. It has power. It has grace. In the world of sports, there is nothing else like it. It's the 1997 NCAA Lacrosse Championships. For first round, quarterfinals, and championship ticket information, call 1-800-490-NCAA. That's 1-800-490-6222.
Welcome back to College Park, Maryland. Bird Stadium Division I championship game as Princeton leads Virginia 4-3 in Division I men's lacrosse. Christy Lee, alongside me is Terry Getz, and Terry has the distinct honor of winning the game in Division III for Nazareth College. It was a tough game, 10-10 against Washington's College. Right in the first of the overtime period, you score with a big goal.
Yeah, I knew how important the face-off was, and we happened to win the face-off, and Tommy Campbell, a fellow Roman, came down and passed the ball to Neil Paulus. And here you see it on the monitor here. And Neil, I was calling for the ball. He was going to look it away, and he fed it to me, and I happened to stick it in, and God, it was a great feeling.
That's the first time you've seen that video.
Yeah, it's the first time I've seen the goal.
So you look even like a better hero now, huh?
Our team played great, and we're really excited.
All right. Congratulations to the Golden Flyers of Nazareth College. We have more action. You can check out Division III, by the way, June 7th, 3 o'clock Eastern Time on ESPN2. That championship will air. We're back to the field. Leaf Quint, take it away, guys.
Thank you, Christy Lee, and our congratulations to Terry Getz. A sensational day for Division III. And I'll tell you what, it was a record crowd of 18,000. I'll stand for a while for that overtime game. Back to this one, though. This is everything we hoped it would be, Quint. 7 goals scored in the first quarter. That might be a record right there. There's a lot of offense in the game. It's normally pretty tight. Normally the power gets a little tight in this game.
Later at 4, catch those lovable lab mice, Pinky and the Brain, followed by your favorite Cape Crusader, Batman. All next, here on the WB 11.
Kill 45 penalties, so that's 2 real contrasting styles. Key, though, for Princeton, can they capitalize on their extra man opportunities?
Their first shot at it right here. We had a pretty clean first quarter, a lot of running gun, but no penalties. This will be the first. Hubbard gets to the wing. This is Hubbard, the big cannon up top. Eichelberger back to Hubbard. Whoa, he slips a little bit. Massey to Hubbard's left. They're shutting off the man behind, which is Hess. Off of the defense stick, they say, and it keeps it back to Princeton. Lucky break. Take a look at the numbers in the first quarter. Q.
Shots, Virginia with a 1 advantage. Ground balls, Princeton all over the loose balls, 18-10. Face-offs, dead even, and saves. Sanderson for UVA struggling with 1.
Q, they're playing a box and 1. They're shutting off Hess, number 9, to the top right of your screen. It's off your screen now. They're not letting him be involved in the play. So they figure like Hess is the most important part, the quarterback. They take him away from the extra man and elect to go 5-on-4.
And it pays off. Hubbard taking about a 16-yard shot there. Sanderson with the easy save. Nice strategy by the Virginia defense.
We'll see if they change that look next time around, if they get another shot at it. Melchione brings it down and gets it to his teammate Doug Knight. Teams at even strength now. Penalty is over. They did a great job of killing it. 4-3, Princeton leads. We're in the second quarter. Knight, we haven't heard from him yet. You know he is chomping at the bit. He's being marked beautifully by Princeton. A lot of attention being given to Doug Knight. Inside 3, shot, and the game is tied. Beautiful move for UVA as they punch it into Melchione. No slide there as he wheels and fires on Carnes.
Henry Oki with the nice assist right here. The strength of this Virginia team, I believe, is Melchione and Hoig, the 2 midfielders who can play both offense and defense. Look at Oki drawing the double team. Melchione catches and fires. Blind to the net. He really caught this and shot in 1 motion and pinged the corner, beating Carnes from close range. Oki drew the double team. Melchione put it away. But that ability for those 2 players to play both defense and offense today will be huge for Virginia.
Tucker Raider ball for Virginia, facing off against James Mitchell, the junior from Mountain Lakes, New Jersey. And it's Princeton coming up with the ball. Long stick bringing down is Beckett Wolf. He's their go-to guy, but checked out by Brad Hoig. What a tremendous play by Hoig as he's pushed from behind. It'll be UVA ball. Brad Hoig with a short stick, really playing as good a defense as anybody on the field.
I've seen Hoig play for 4 years now. I've never seen him get beat one-on-one. Fabulous speed. Here's the push call. Fans not happy with it. He got dumped to the turf. It's got to be Virginia's ball.
Could have been 2 calls on that one. Each guy ran him down. It was a Mack truck accident. Look at Starzy on the sideline.
You know, 2 years ago when these two teams met in the finals, it was a 9-8 ball game. Starzy took some criticism. He had a running gun team that year, chose to slow the pace of the game down and play Princeton type of lacrosse. Today, though, this scenario, this tempo, a lot of goals really benefits Virginia.
And he had no choice today because Princeton offers a 3-0 lead. So this is a different Princeton team that invites you to go ahead and run. And, of course, Virginia loving to do so. Whiteley controlling behind. Princeton taking the time. Cutting player up front. That was Leahy who couldn't pull it down. That close to making a shot. Here goes the fast break from Princeton. All the way down is Christian Cook, and now he'll go back. Great speed on the defensive end. They'll reset their offense. This is pass again, the quarterback, with that matchup against Mahoney. Inside player, watch out. Princeton backs up nicely. Hoig caught by surprise as the ball came through. There's Hoig playing defense again. They don't want to go against him. They'll move to a different matchup. This is the matchup they want. They want Tucker Raider ball all day long. He's a good player. He's a freshman. They want to test him. Great job by Raider ball. It's Dennis Kramer against him. Now they're clearing out for him.
They also have another favorable matchup. Watson, the attackman for Virginia now, caught behind the cage in a defensive role. Look for Princeton to try to get the ball or Bonds back to isolate against Watson.
Good point. This is Ozier. I had the wrong player on the 10. This is Ozier, the great athlete. Against Raider ball. Now he slipped. The slide comes open. Big save by Sanderson. He finally gets a feed on a big save. Cannot clear. Goal's wide open. Can Sanderson get back? Ozier. Far side. McDonough cranks it. And Sanderson again with a big block. Follow-up is wide. Sanderson with the 2 best saves of this game.
Sensational saves by Sanderson. Taking that one off the chest protector. Hustling, making the ground ball play. Threw the ball away. Watch it right there. Watch this rebound. Just go wide. You'll see the little flick in front. This is the first save off the foot. And then he makes the second follow-up save.
Timeout called on the field. It's all tied at 4. We're in the second quarter of this great Division I lacrosse championship.
Bell helmets. Courage for your head.
Pizza Hut, your triple deckeroni pizza.
Baby. Whoa!
Wow! What a pizza! New Pizza Hut Triple Deckeroni Pizza. 90 pepperoni pieces, 6 cheeses, 2 crusts, 1 hellacious taste.
The NCAA Division I Lacrosse Championships from College Park, Maryland. Well, it's baseball, you're an American, and it's Memorial Day. The doubleheader coming up starts on ESPN right after this game. We've got the Colorado Rockies against the St. Louis Cardinals. The Rockies will try to escape the cellar led by the Blake Street Bombers, and Dante Bichette batting .322 and 26 homers. Stay with it on ESPN. 4-4, this game started off with electricity on the offensive end for Princeton. 3 straight goals, Quint, and it forced Virginia to get serious real quick.
Yeah, and they've played a little better in the cage since then, since the first quarter. Sanderson real shaky early, only 1 save in the first quarter. We've seen 3 sensational saves so far in the second quarter. If he can make about 55 to 60% of the saves today, Virginia's got a real great shot.
Watson's been the story for Virginia. 3 of the 4 goals, Melchione with the other. They've shut off Knight so far. Knight's been such a big part of their offense. Can they win this game without Knight scoring?
I think Knight will score. They just got to get more transition. Get the ball down low to Doug in that situation. He's so devastating.
Player falls down. Princeton, one-on-one, goal number 5. Beautiful job by Lauren Smith, a talented athlete that Quint talked about coming up, getting better every day. He's only a freshman, but 6'3". What a tough guy to handle.
Only a freshman, 6'3". Had 5 quality shots against Syracuse in the semis. And he has got a cannon, one of the best players out of high school in the entire country. Slow to slide right there, Virginia's defense. It's so tough today playing defense. You don't know if your player, your teammate's going to slip or not, so it's very tough to anticipate when to go and when to stay home. And that time, they were caught napping.
Well, what happened was the guy, Smith, fell down flat out on the wings, and he was wide open coming in. And you're right, the slide was critical, but the ground called that opening again for Princeton. They've taken advantage of 2 ball downs on the defensive end of the Virginia defense. So 5-4, Princeton up by 1. They have never been behind. They opened up the game with 3 straight goals, then 2 for Virginia followed. So they have not been behind in this game yet. Second quarter action in College Park. Same matchup of 2 years ago, where it was a little bit different paced game led by the control style of Princeton. This year they've got one of the best goals per game average in the country. It's the 2 best offenses in the country.
Good job, back off. You're home.
Hess outside. Working tough on defensive checks of Mahoney.
You can hear the goaltender, Sanderson, barking out commands to his defense.
Massey now goes against Smith. Smith made him take that a little bit wide. Didn't even test Sanderson on that one. There's a good look at Massey, who's had some big numbers in games of late.
6 goals in the semifinals against Syracuse. Took 15 shots in that game. Syracuse electing to cover Hubbard.
Great save by Sanderson. He is looking very comfortable, especially in the low shots. We talked about style. The boxing goalie is a little more comfortable down low, and when you put it down on the grass, he's more comfortable than going to the high play.
The Canadian box goal, only 4 feet by 4 feet. Sanderson certainly down low, stronger than he is up top.
Beckett Wolf against Knight. Knight a little antsy. He wants some action. Taking it against Beckett Wolf. 1-on-1. Slide getting ready to come. Slide was antsy, looking at Knight. Virginia elects to take a little time now. Here goes Whiteley against that zone. Now they're going inside. Looks like they might be matching up against Knight. Whiteley loses it to McBean. Opportunity lost for Virginia. The great team defense of Princeton. I don't think anybody would argue with the notion that Princeton has the best team defense in Division I lacrosse. That's what they build their program on. 10 timeout called by Princeton so that they could maintain possession. So if the last one was a Princeton timeout, that would be their second. We will have to check on that. It's 5-4 right now. We've got 8 minutes and change left in the second. We're back to College Park in just a moment.
It's better.
Not better.
Surprise.
Sweet.
Potion spray. Baby red and tangerine grapefruit juice drink.
Tangerine.
Surprise.
Very, very sweet. It's not any ordinary grapefruit juice.
Ruby red and tangerine. Crave the wave.
Many credit card rebates hold you down with restrictions and yearly limits, but not the Discover card. The more you use it, the higher your cashback bonus award. So when it comes to our rebates, the sky is the limit. It pays to Discover.
We're due.
Leading 5-4 early on in the second quarter. We have a very special guest. Princeton-Virginia matchup in '94 was big for this guy, Josh Miller. That year, Princeton won right here on Byrd Field. This has to bring back memories for you.
Yeah, it's a pretty powerful memory, in the same spot. It's pretty exciting to be back. It's a different team than in '94, but, it's still, a lot of the same tradition. All the guys are back in the stands watching us, so it's pretty powerful.
Okay, let's quickly talk about this new team. We have a lot of new defensemen. We know that these two teams match up real good offensively, and defense is probably going to be the key to the game. How do you feel about your Tigers?
I think they're young and inexperienced, but like I said, there's a tradition of playing great defense. It starts with Coach Tierney, and he's coached them so well, and they've responded really well all year. I think they need to stop their strengths, which is their attack, and I think they're prepared to do that. I think they'll be great.
Josh Miller, thank you for being our guest. We're going to go get dry. Leave, Quint?
Look at the moisture on the lens of the camera there. We see Ozier coming in. Big pick. Frees him up. He didn't take advantage of it, though. He gave the ball back to the wing. Bonsbach against Hoig. Hoig, okay, that's not a goal. If you're defensive, that's all right. Hoig took away the great shot, slipped, got back up so fast that he was still in position to make a little bit of an impact check before the shot came off.
And so strong, too. Hoig, when he gets that stick on you and puts it on your hip and drives you out, you're certainly going to feel it. The bench press is up in the 300-pound range.
Whiteley close. Hoig with the second shot of the day, and that went right off of the goalie Karen. In the crease will be the call. They'll give the ball back to Princeton. So Hoig's had 2 looks at the goal, and I'll tell you what, they could be big if he gets one of those. The game's tied.
Another look. Whiteley to Hoig. Nice quick stick. Pat Cairns, an angle goaltender, really in the right spot at the right time.
Wide open goal on a 10-man ride. And it'll be Virginia ball. A gamble by Starsia that paid off. Princeton was looking for it, and they are all over the ref for maybe the out-of-bounds call. But anyway, it was a 10-man ride, which means the goalie comes out and plays one of the players on the offense. And that leaves the goal open. Sanderson dove back after the shot that missed and got possession.
That's a gutsy call by the Virginia coaching staff. But again, they're looking for that up-tempo game. And anytime you pull your goalie like that and double-team downfield, you're going to force mistakes and force the action. That kind of paid off.
David Curry just threw it out of bounds. Now, 2 guys that have not had any impact yet that you would think have to for Virginia to win. Curry, who just threw it out of bounds, and number 7, Knight. I think if those 2 guys are silent the rest of the game, it's over.
They need midfield scoring. Obviously, their attack's going to do a lot of the damage, but players like Oki, Wren, Curry, and Melchione have to step up and score some goals.
They give it back to Princeton. The team that makes fewer mistakes than anybody in the country goes all the way across the field. Good riding by Knight. Eichelberger against trapped by the goalie. It's wide open again. Sanderson is that far out of the goal. He's racing back to get position. Massey picked it up. Could not find anybody open. What a gutsy move for Sanderson to come 50 yards out of the cage.
Most of the time in that situation, you want to pass that attack player off to a teammate, to a long stick, and then switch back to another attackman who's closer to the cage. But Sanderson, logging in the miles, you got to worry about his fatigue. Sprinting back and forth.
Absolutely. What kind of conditions? McDonough, high, hard, and rope. That's what we talked about, the kind of shot that might give Sanderson more trouble in the low ones. Look at him. He's a little tired. He just ran 2 sprints of about 40 yards. He comes back in. He guessed a little bit low, and the high shot rips the rope.
Exactly. I mean, right now, Sanderson's sitting in the cage trying to catch his breath, and here comes McDonough right down the right-handed side, straight overhand, and you can see Sanderson just flinch low. Watch the head of the stick. The left-hander will just drop the stick for a second, and McDonough scorches the upper portion of the cage.
First goal today for him, 2 straight for Princeton as they take a 2-goal lead. It was tied at 4, now 6-4. They control the faceoff. Good job there. This one by Kramer, number 10. And they get it back and work it around to Ben Strutt. A lot of speed there. Ozier on the far side. Princeton just taking their shots when they want them. Hoig playing defense against Ozier. Hoig with a wrap check with the short stick. Looks very comfortable, Hoig does, this matchup, even though Ozier's taller. Called something. Was it on Hoig? Don't know. Cross check.
It's going to be a cross check hold against Hoig. And this is a call where the player will be playing the man with the cross of his stick, but because his hands are spread, he's actually using the stick to hold out the offensive player. Here it is again. You see how wide Hoig's hands are spread right there? You've got to get his stick. You got to use your hands and use your fists, not the shaft of the stick.
And they're pretty flexible in that call. Even though it's in the books, they're pretty flexible. But you got to get your gloved hand a little closer to the body than he was. He had his gloved hand way outside the body. Again, you'll see a similar move to that defensively all day long. Usually they don't call it if the gloved hand is close to the body.
And a lot of times the referee right there will talk to the player, say, hey, bring your hands together, bring your hands together. That time he just elects to throw the flag.
Boxing 1 again. They're shutting off one player. This time Hubbard, it looks like. So they picked Hubbard this time to shut off, and it's a boxing 1-5-1-4. Good job by Virginia of sticking with the concept of a boxing 1 point, but switching the guy. Now, you know Princeton will come back and say, okay, they're taking out Hess, let's do this play. So Virginia set up the fact that they would cut off a different player, and they do it with their big gun.
It's a real mental game. Backside feed right here to Massey. Good slide by Ginter for Virginia. Sliding down the backside. helping out.
Here comes Virginia, big run by Melchione. He drops it, looking out front. He's got a player. Shot and rope. 6-5. Virginia very quickly gets back on the board. And it all started with that confusing defense in the EMO. It was a great chance for Princeton to get a 3-goal lead, but Virginia makes it a 1-goal game.
Real big swing right there. You come up with a defensive stop, get the ball down, and Oakley just lets this go. Melchione finds him in front, and this is perfect placement on this shot off to the goalie's hip, right off the hip right there to the far side. Cairns had a read on it, got some nice body movement, but Oakley, 23 goals this season. Again, midfield scoring, so imperative for Virginia.
Procedural call against Radeball. They'll give the ball to Princeton, who is really dominating face-off. This is James Mitchell, who gets the benefit of that procedural call. Hoig ragging him pretty hard, and the ball goes in. Hoig was ragging so hard, he made an air pass inside, and Sanderson picked it right up, but Tugger Radeball cannot collect. Princeton takes advantage and gets back to another offensive set. Boy, you get the ball back, but you've got to get the clear. You've got to get the possession in your offensive zone.
And I stay away from Hoig if I'm a Princeton Tiger right now. That's not the guy you want to take to the cage.
Oki, who scored that last goal, 1-1 in this quarter. A guy you normally don't count on for big numbers, assisted Melchione and scored the last goal, so he's a big part. Melchione and Oki, they assisted each other on the last 2 goals. So they're going to different combinations, as Princeton being effective, shutting out Knight so far and shutting out Curry. Princeton now again with the ball. The 1-goal lead, about 4 minutes to go in the first half. Ozier now on Tucker Radeball. This is a matchup they like. Ozier is a tough customer. He stands 6'2", almost 200 pounds. Against a freshman. He falls down, far side. Whoa, he was right there to Hess, but picked off by Hoig. Again, they can't get possession. This will take its toll. You make 2 great defensive plays, but you give it back to a team that's going to hurt you. Sanderson's shoulder blocks this one out of bounds, and they get it back. This is the 4th possession and a chance to score.
And Princeton had the opening on that last play, couldn't convert inside.
They got it right.
Ozier did a great job. Watch a 3-player slide to Ozier, and Massey just can't handle it. But then look at the hustle, Hubbard, and now they generate a 3rd chance opportunity.
Jesse Hubbard with a big check to get it back.
A lot of pressure on that man right there. Makes the big save, but again, how much can he take?
He's their guy. He's the man of the hour, and they all think that he's man enough to handle it. No bullpen action for that guy. Behind the goal now, Princeton's great catch against Hoig. They're really working Hoig. Maybe the idea here is to wear Hoig out for the 4th quarter because they're changing up people, trying to really wear him out defensively. Shot! And a big save by Sanderson, again low in his comfort zone. Push call against Virginia, I believe. Virginia trying to... Dom Starzia talks about the goalies, about this game. Let's go to Dom Starzia's soundbite on the goalie.
I think that if there was one critical element in this game is that you're looking at the goal play at both ends. You got a young pup in the cage. They've been a little unsettled at their position. You got 2 good offensive teams. One team shoots the ball really well from 12 to 14. The other team shoots the ball well from on top of the cage. If one of these goalies is able to rise up a little bit and play well, that could clearly spell the difference in the game. And the inverse is if one of these goalies does not step up in this situation, then that team is probably going to struggle a little bit.
Well, this goalie is doing everything he can. He is playing at as high a level as he has played all year right now. So the focus shifts, Quint, to the offensive end. Where's Knight? Where's Curry? You got to have them win this game.
Yeah, and especially Doug Knight. And Whiteley has been a little taken out of the Virginia offense also. But Princeton had their chances on that last possession. Massey could not handle 2 balls in front. Let's see what Virginia's got offensively.
Massey's got Smith on him all day long. Maybe get a little rattled by the great aggressive stick checks of Smith on the defense of Virginia. Watch him back to Whiteley. Working that right-handed side as Princeton stays in a zone for this offensive set. Virginia's going to change some people now as Princeton in a zone will give you time to control the ball. 2:30 left. They may be looking at a last possession if they really take their time. Maybe a little bit too much for that. Plenty of time to comfortably work the offense against the zone. Up top, rocket shot. A little bit wide, a little bit high.
Curry is really the outside shooter for this Virginia team. They don't have a legitimate outside shot other than Curry. Watson, Whiteley, and Knight like to shoot from close, about 10 yards.
There he is, back door. Knight all alone! He can't make it stick. Knight had his perfect shot, and it went in the crease. It was air Knight. Zone put pressure. They went 2 passes backside. It was all Knight.
And watch the goaltender, Cairns, drop his stick, put it up high, and he gets help from the backside. Princeton defenseman Christian Cook doing a nice job. Here's Cairns. He's not playing those fakes by Knight. He's trying to fake Knight himself. Drops down low, pops down high, and that confuses the shooter.
A little bit of tutelage from Quick Keswick when he was in high school. Clint knows Cairns well. Had a chance to work with him for 2 years, developing his skills at Boys Latin.
Next time Knight comes in, the smart thing to do would be just to shoot right away, because Cairns is anticipating those fakes. He's knowing that Knight's going to come in, give him that high, give him the low, and then shoot. If Knight releases it right away, I think he's going to catch Cairns on his heels.
Knight had the ball and a shot when he first got it, but Knight's comfortable shooting range is about 18 inches. He likes to put it right in your face. They get the ball back on that clear that was messed up above midfield. So a minute 45 left, and Virginia with a chance to tie. Curry and Knight working this side. They do a switch as it goes back to Whiteley. Curry now on the crease. Whiteley pushing in, controlling. Pushing in, controlling, tried to get it across to the right-handed side on the other side. The Tucker Raider ball, and he could not get it to the defense. Princeton wants you to make it that attempted pass. So Princeton burns up one of their timeouts. This will be their second timeout. You only get 3 in the game.
Derek Katz, number 1 for Princeton, called that timeout. Tierney not particularly happy with it.
Tierney's upset because he doesn't want the timeout called. You only get 3 in a game. And if you call 2 now, as many as you can call in a half, that leaves Tierney with 1 timeout for the rest of this game, and it's basically a tie game. That handcuffs the coach. Emotion for Tierney, a very big part of his game. Some people wonder if it's a hindrance or if it's a motivator. Tierney talks about his emotion.
People look at my emotion in a game, and they think that that's going to have a positive effect or an adverse effect on his team. To be honest, I don't think it changes anything. I gear sometimes my emotion towards the referees, I gear it towards myself sometimes, and I gear it towards certain players that I know can handle that. Our kids are around me every day. Sometimes it's a little bit of a firing up routine, other times it's just, I lose it.
Well, he lost it in the semifinals a little bit, but I tell you what, not too much, not too much. The semifinals, very composed. Right here, a little bit upset.
Yeah, he looks a little upset, but we've seen him back in 1992 at Franklin Field in the finals. Just a raving maniac for that entire game. This is as composed in a championship game as Tierney has ever been.
Let's put this in perspective. This guy has really rebuilt this program. This is one of the premier coaches in the game, and when he means it doesn't really have an effect, he has the total respect of his players. It's a part of his makeup. It works for Tierney and that program, and really it's nothing negative in the mix.
No, and we've seen him at work in practice. For every time he scolds a player, certainly there's a positive reinforcement as well. He's a master motivator.
And it's part of the matrix that makes this team so perfect. This team does not make mistakes. Fewer mistakes than any Division I lacrosse program. If you want to beat them, you better play a darn good game. Eichelberger clearing. Now the ball's loose. The field causing some problems. Ginter cannot collect. Finally does. We've got a minute left with Virginia still. Another possession. Boy, he's got some room. Knight far side. Watching a little bit too close. Tried to get it into Knight, and the ball goes off the defensive check. Virginia not in the right position for that fast break as the time goes to 50 seconds.
Yeah, and with a minute left there, you want to get a quality shot. Melchione forcing that one inside.
Another chance to get it up. Melchione trying to redeem himself, gets the ball back and lobs it up. Offside. No, what do they have? Push call. Push call against Princeton. So 3 mistakes, and let's say 4, 2 for each team. Virginia gets it back for one more chance to handle it properly with 36 seconds left.
Watch the hit. Near side, Melchione getting dumped by Eichelberger. Melchione comes up with a ground ball, and under duress just heaves it towards the midfield line, and that's where the push happened, right at the midfield stripe.
Watson's got it now. Whiteley goes behind to control. Whiteley will take it. We've got time in this quarter at the bottom of the screen. They can't pick it up. They tried to get the big shot up top. Still time for a shot, but they've got to now hurry. This is Curry. He's a little bit frustrated. He's shut out. Knight is also shut out. There's a double team, triple team. Ball goes wide. Time for one more.
And you can see the effectiveness of the Princeton zone, keeping Virginia on the perimeter. And Curry and Knight are showing some frustration and some antsiness. They're really going to the goal, not taking the best shot.
Knight has to give it up. That will not be effective. That'll end the quarter, end the half. Princeton doing a great job of taking away what should have been a good shot and a lot of pressure on the goalie, Cairns. It didn't happen, and Princeton will take that 1-goal lead into the half.
The zone has been effective. When these two teams met in the regular season, Princeton fell behind 10-0. They went to the zone, and then Virginia only scored 2 goals the rest of that game. And I think that strategy has been pretty effective so far.
So we'll get set to talk to Tierney, who has the 1-goal lead. Let's go down to Christy Lee right now.
Coach Tierney, your defense has come up big. You've shut down Whiteley. You've shut down Curry. Doug Knight's not really been a factor yet in the first half. You have to be happy about that.
Well, we're happy to be up 6-5, far cry from being down 11-2 in March. But this is a scary team. We're in no way near winning this one. That's for sure.
What do you think has made the difference?
Well, we're trying to mix up some zone. We're staying in tight. If they're going to beat us, they got to beat us with their outside guys. Watson's killed us early in the first quarter. We're just trying to stay tight and hope that they can't score from the outside.
What about the weather conditions? Is that much of a factor?
You know, some kids are slipping, some kids aren't. It's, you know, I don't think it's much of, you know, determining the lead or anything like that, no.
And a really good stat is you're dominating in face-offs.
We've got to keep doing that or we're in a lot of trouble.
Coach Tierney, thank you for joining us at halftime.
Thanks.
We have more for you from Division I Men's Lacrosse Championships right here at Byrd Stadium in College Park, Maryland, coming up on ESPN. Stay with us.
How does your friendly used car dealer act when you ask for a 30-day exchange policy? Ooh, down car dealer. If we were you, we'd shop with us. How do most used car dealers act when you ask for a 12-month warranty? Well, if we were you, we'd shop with us. How would your used car dealer act if you asked for 24-hour roadside assistance? Ooh, ouch. If we were you, we'd shop with us.
Devil in a Blue Dress is everything you could ever want in a mystery thriller. 4 stars. Don't miss it. Academy Award winner Denzel Washington is flat-out perfection. He's seductive.
You'd be sorry if you go.
I'd be sorry if I stay, too. Riveting.
Unless I get the cops to kill him, I'm going to jail.
In easily one of the best films of the year.
There's too much going on for me to give a damn about what you think is smart.
Devil in a Blue Dress. Rated R.
Matt Hoffman, he's mangled countless bicycles and numerous preconceived notions performing feats hitherto deemed impossible by even the most intrepid aerialists. I believe we are in for just a bit of turbulence. Fly!
The X Games. Coming soon.
Our country is filled with monuments to students. Juniors who just finished finals. Athletes who won the big game. Seniors who went to the prom. Graduates who just landed jobs. Unfortunately, these monuments are for the way they celebrated and died.
We're back at Byrd Stadium. It's a halftime break with the Tigers from Princeton leading 6-5 over the Cavaliers of Virginia. I tell you what, it has been an exciting first half. A little bit sloppy because of the weather, but the game really got off to a fast start.
Yeah, it really did. Both teams scoring at ease in the first quarter. Goalie play a little shaky, but then both goalies tightened up in the second quarter. Princeton's had 6 different players score. Watson's been the key for Virginia with the hat trick.
Of course, if you're looking at storylines, where's Curry? Where is Knight? They've been handcuffed so far by the great defense, and that's going to be frustrating for them. If they don't come out and score some points, Virginia will have a very tough time winning this game.
That's right, and that's where the zone defense has been effective, keeping the ball away from the Princeton cage, giving them the outside shot, and Virginia really does not have a great outside shooter aside from David Curry.
And the goalie front, Sanderson, he has played very tough.
Excellent second quarter for Sanderson, really kept them close. Princeton had their quality opportunities in front. A couple drop passes for Princeton also. You've got to wonder if those chances will come back to haunt them in the second half.
Cairns also has answered the call. Right now, though, our partner, Christy Lee, is down with Terry Holland, the AD of Virginia. Kristen?
Yeah, so we're standing down here getting a little bit wet, but it's worth it. Terry Holland, the athletic director at Virginia. Terry, let's quickly talk about your past, though. You're an awesome basketball coach. Like, you coach the guys like Ralph Sampson. Talk a little bit about that.
Well, of course, having good players and good assistant coaches makes a lot of difference, Christy. We were fortunate to have some great teams, and give credit to those individuals we had, though. It was a lot of fun to coach those guys.
And for those of you who don't know, I am not 6'5", okay? I'm standing on a chair just so it didn't look like I was really shrimpy. What about the athletics at Virginia? You have to be proud of the men's program.
Absolutely. You know, Dom Stars is just one of those coaches that you know is going to get the job done one way or another. Great coach, has an excellent rapport with the kids, a fantastic recruiter. He's the kind of guy you want your son to play for.
Well, you're down by 1 at halftime. Got any words of wisdom for those Virginia fans?
Well, we knew that it was going to be this type of game. Every time we match up with Princeton, particularly at this time of the year, it turns out to be this kind of match. I would expect that it'll be the same the second half, but hopefully we'll be able to come out on top.
Thank you very much. Terry Holland, our special guest. And we will have more as halftime continues here at College Park. We're going to go get warm, drink some coffee. You stay close to the TV. We have more great men's lacrosse action coming at you on ESPN.
Wow, how'd they do that?
Pennzoil Performax 100. 100% synthetic at a breakthrough price.
100% synthetic at a price this low? How'd they do that?
Leave it to Pennzoil to make synthetic affordable.
How'd they do that?
Hey, there's more. An extra $6 rebate on a case. Or $6 off on an oil change by the pros.
How'd they do that?
Engine problems? Before you try a tune-up, try Gum Out first. The solution could be less than $5.
Bell helmets. Courage for your head.
Welcome back to NCAA Lacrosse at Byrd Stadium. One of the biggest events in NCAA championships. It's lacrosse weekend where the semifinals with the finals of Division 3 and 1 make it a real happening, and they're all here to watch the best of the best. Lee Felsmo here, along with Quinn Kesenick, bringing you all the action. And it's been a little bit of a rainy day, but it really, other than some sloppy play, has not affected the offenses. They are electric. And if you look at the highlights of the first half, it started very quickly.
Yeah, it did. Two of the best offenses in the country. Michael Watson with a tremendous first half. But it started with Princeton with 3 goals. Chris Massey got him rolling. This made it 3-0 Princeton on the feed from McBean. Here he is right there, worm burner, beating Sanderson between the legs. Sanderson shaky early, and then Watson came back single-handedly, scoring 2 in a row for Virginia. Left-handed, watch this one-handed shot. Beating the Princeton zone defense right there. Watson was on fire, and for Princeton, their shooting really faded. Watch Sanderson here make the big save down low. The key to Sanderson has been those low kick saves, those low shots around the feet. And for Princeton, Pat Karen certainly stepping up in the second quarter, robbing Brad Hoyt from close range. Both goalies shaky early. They had excellent second quarters, and I think it could come down to a save late in this ballgame.
We'll be at that second half coming up very shortly. All the players now getting ready for the very close second half. It was an overtime game 2 years ago. Right now, though, the Sears Directors Cup points. We want to show you the Sears Directors Cup is the first ever cross-sectional all-sports national recognition award for both men and women in each NCAA Division 1, 2, and 3. And here are the standings. Stanford, Penn State, Michigan, Nebraska, and UCLA. There are the next 5 in the top 10. We'll be back with more lacrosse in just a moment.
Since NASCAR first began, there have been over 1,000 races with more than 10,000 drivers and mechanics and millions of spectators. And as NASCAR continues to grow even bigger, so has the one-part store serious enough to be the only official auto parts store in the history of NASCAR. Western Auto, and Western Auto's new Parts America.
Murder.
My wife will kill me.
Scandal.
Did you get those kids to kill your husband?
Fame.
You're not anybody in America unless you're on TV.
Who says you can't have it all?
Who do you think a jury believes?
The most exhilarating American movie since Pulp Fiction. Columbia Pictures presents Nicole Kidman.
It's nice to live in a country where life, liberty, and all the rest of it still stand for something.
To Die For. Rated R.
When do you Q-check?
After I've made sandwiches for the kids.
I make delicious buns like these.
After I make the donuts.
Coffee that's perfect for dunking.
You're terrible. Absolutely terrible.
You're terrible.
When I don't make a connection.
In the doghouse, send Rose.
When I'm done doing that.
Nothing sexier than gold.
Got a minute? Do a Q-check. You just might find what you're looking for.
Have been created. There's been Sports Center, the Saturday morning cartoon.
Hi, I'm Keith Olbermann.
Hi, I'm Dan Patrick. Welcome to The Big Show.
Sports Center, the concept album, and who could forget Sports Center, the movie.
Dan,
But I'm not like the other sportscasters. You make me feel in fuego.
Billy! Welcome back to College Park, Maryland. Princeton, a slim lead over Virginia, 6-5 Division I Men's Lacrosse Championship. Coach from Virginia, Coach Starsia, let's talk about what we're going to do in the second half.
Well, we have to be much more patient at the offensive end of the field. We're fortunate to be only down a goal, quite frankly, and I love my attack to death, but except for some spectacular plays by Michael Watson, we really haven't been taking care of the ball at that end. Princeton's had the ball for long stretches. Our defense is doing a nice job. Chris is coming up in the cage. We just got to take a little bit better care of things at the other end of the field. You get a little over anxious when it first gets down there. We got to understand that and be willing to take a little time, give us a chance to regroup at that other end.
We'll watch for the run and gun of the Virginia Cavaliers in the second half. We'll be back with more of Division I Men's Lacrosse Championships live from College Park, Maryland on ESPN.
I'll tell you something. The way this point's going, get comfortable, because we could be here a while. 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 Great. More tennis. Super.
Hi, who's this?
Mel.
What are you thinking about now?
Something sweet.
Like what?
Caramel?
Caramel's so different. What would you like to do with it?
I'd cover it with roasted peanuts.
Roasted peanuts and creamy caramel? Wow. You're making me so hungry.
What you want is a payday.
The cars keep getting faster. And drag racing keeps getting bigger. And so does the one-part store serious enough to be the only official auto parts store in the history of the NHRA. Western Auto. And Western Auto's new Parts America.
We're back at Byrd Stadium to start the opening faceoff of the third quarter, and it's Princeton again dominating. There were 9 out of 13 in the first half. And whoa, the big hit laid on by Massey. Ball still loose, but Princeton comes up with it again. Another check for Virginia, puts it back on the turf. They didn't get it in their offensive zone.
Offsides, Princeton.
Offsides is the call. They get it back. Again, sloppy play between the restraining lines. Let's see what adjustments Virginia makes. Far side. Here's Curry. The big cannon shot. He can't handle. And the defensive checks worry him by Harrington. So first possession after a real raggy faceoff goes to Virginia. They're down by 1. 1 half to go in the national championship. Curry working down low now with Whiteley against a short stick. Knight up top. There's Wren.
and Watson. Princeton electing to play the zone defense. Virginia has not generated many quality shots against the zone, so stay with it. Bill Tierney has elected to stay with the zone. And Starsia obviously wants his team to take a little more time against the zone. It's not something they haven't seen. It just requires a little patience. Curry to Watson. Back door is Whiteley. Watson likes to go one-on-one. Takes the shot. He's got rope off the foot of Cairns. Watson is the story for the Virginia Cavaliers. He is keeping them in the game until the fire of offense gets light under Knight and Curry. 4 goals for Michael Watson, and he takes it right to the heart of this zone. That's the second time we've seen him try to dodge against the zone. Not much of an angle here. Left-handed. Pat Cairns got a heel on that. It deflected off of his foot into the cage. But a lot of the Virginia players seem kind of timid against the zone. Watson going straight for the cage, not really worrying about the defensive formation.
Looking like Doug Knight, who is really a fiery character, liking to hit the crease. Second ball pushes Jeff McBean. It'll go to Princeton, and again, they get the initial possession on the faceoff. Curry got the assist on the Watson goal, although it was pretty much of a one-man effort. First half numbers, Clint.
Take a look at the numbers. Shots, Princeton with a slight advantage. Ground balls, big advantage for Princeton, and face-offs. One of the reasons why they were able to control the tempo. Saves, Princeton only 4, Virginia only 6. Again, Sanderson needs about a 50% save percentage, and Cairns will need about 60. Those are their season averages, and we got to keep our eye on that. That's going to be huge.
11-4, that's the face-off advantage for Princeton, and that is a huge number when you talk about numbers that count. Meanwhile, Ginter gets called for a penalty, and it's another extra man for Princeton. Now, they did the boxing one twice. This is the third shot at it for Princeton. And Princeton, or rather Virginia, abandons it here. They're in a regular rotation. Good stop by Sanderson, and the defense clogs them up.
Illegal procedure against Virginia. McBean with a quick shot. Watch the feed in front. McBean turn and catch. Sanderson playing his angle so well. They called Virginia for holding McBean down. McBean was lying on the ground.
Tough call because they made a great play. Virginia really mixing it up on the man-down unit. They box and one, give 2 different guys, and then this, their third possession for Princeton, they abandon that and go to the regular rotation. McBean finally gets the ball on the ground. McKeone cannot collect it, though. Smith, back to Sanderson. He'll go far side. Near side's Mahoney, but he doesn't see him. Finally gets to Mahoney. He better hurry. Mahoney being ragged by Hess. Here comes great man down stretch for Virginia. They dodged the bullet for the 3rd time. Games at even strength, and what a classic matchup. The man down unit really confusing the great offense of Princeton. In close, rocket shot, and it's Whiteley, the captain, bringing his team to the first lead of the day.
Timmy Whiteley, the senior, we heard from him earlier, has played in this title game 2 years ago. Watch it, just steps up, no one plays him, and he lets it go. Straight overhand, down low. Beautiful accuracy right there. Did not have much angle here. The lefty, such a cagey player. Picks his spots so well, doesn't make many mistakes. And that time, looked like he caught the goaltender, not ready. That's such a severe angle shot. Poncho Gutstein.
Finally, Poncho, they go to the bullpen. Gutstein comes in for Princeton. Here he is, Poncho Gutstein. He'll put his finger in the dike in the semifinals to really get this team into this final. And now it'll be the seniors' responsibility to get the championship for Princeton in '96. Cairns comes out, Gutstein in, and Princeton continues to dominate faceoffs. That is really starting to take a toll on possession time. The first lead of the day for Virginia, and it happens several minutes into quarter number 3. 12-4 is the dominance of the faceoff. Watson playing defense. Backdoor, rocket shot for Hess. It's tied at 7. And again, the high shot hurts Sanderson.
The high shot's going. Sanderson only about 5'7". Hess left all alone on the backside. We've seen Princeton make this look a couple times because the Virginia defense over-aggressive. They slide to the ball. They're very ball conscious. Hess all alone. Take a look at it again. Ozier, such a great field general, seeing the field, and Hess just snaps that one with a quick release.
Look at Watson coming in from the wing, number 4. They're putting him, he got caught defensively last time. I think the defense was looking to help him in the backside. Hess got the good shot. This puts 4 big shooters on the offensive end of the field if you get possession. Curry starts in the attack. Watson goes to the wing on the faceoff, and now you've got basically 4 great shooters on the field at one time.
And Watson is one of the, in fact, he has the most ground balls on the entire Virginia team. That's why they've got him on the wing of the faceoff. He's got 78 ground balls, and for an attackman to have that kind of number is fabulous. He's a great scrapper. He's a grinder. He gets the loose ball.
And the only liability would be if he gets called on defense and they take advantage of it. Virginia up top. Curry now to Watson with the rocket. He gets checked at the last moment. Backed up by Knight.
Christian Cook moving his feet, the fastest of the Princeton defenders, gets that stick out. A little poke check towards the ribs of Watson, deflecting that shot wide. It'll be interesting to see how Gutstein reacts coming off the bench on a particularly chilly day. It's only about 55 degrees out. Didn't have much warm-up at halftime at all.
Good point, Quint. You want to put a hard shot on him. You don't want this guy to get comfortable. So Virginia wants to put a tough shot on Gutstein, make him earn his comfort level. Up top, Curry, rope. He's got it.
And that's the howitzer for Virginia. Curry has got a cannon. I think Gutstein thinks he should have had that one. Take a look at it again. The feed from behind. Curry, time and room. You'll get a great angle here. Watch this. Straight overhead. Laser off the stick of Gutstein. Again, Curry has been shooting the ball so well lately. 5 goals against Hopkins in the semifinals, and he's got 1 today.
Well, the third quarter gives Curry 1 assist to Watson to start the third quarter, and then that goal, we asked at the end of the first half, where is Curry? Well, we just found him. I think Don Stargey at halftime wanted to know where he was, too. They adjusted some things to get him the ball, and he is the outside shot.
That's a savable shot right there, though. That's from 14 yards, hits the goalie right up in the stick. You've got to make that save in a national championship if you expect to win.
Princeton rocket. They tie it up at 8. McDonough. 10 minutes to go in the third quarter, and we've got a ball game. 2 goals for McDonough.
The senior stepping up big time in the big game. Here it is again. Left all alone in front. Watch the accuracy. Right in the upper corner. Beautiful shot. Not the fastest shot, but look at the control. McDonough knows exactly where he wants to put this one. Right in the corner. Tough for Sanderson to make that save. And another goal up high.
Right. I think they're going top shelf all the way. I think one of the things they talked about at halftime is, hey, get the shots off his feet. Get the shots in that top quadrant of the goal. Princeton again dominating the faceoffs. They have tied the game at 8. McDonough was the first score for this third quarter. Hess actually scored, so it's the second for Princeton against 3 for Virginia in quarter number 3. 16 goals scored in the game combined. Hess, a big factor in this third quarter, assists McDonough, and he scores from Ocean before that. Face-off dominance, we talked about it. There are the numbers, Quint. 14-5, that's bad news for UVA. In close for Hess, he gets it checked out. In the crease, must be. In the crease violation against Princeton. Boy, Lawrence Smith had a long way to go before he got to the crease. He must have just had blinders on.
And that face-off domination should continue. Princeton uses a 2-man rotation. Mitchell will take 2 face-offs, and then Kramer will take 1. So those 2 players should be relatively fresh later on in this ballgame.
Princeton still with the zone as they give it back to Whiteley, far side to Watson. Watson's been the big scorer. Watch the shot by Radeball. He fakes it, now carries it back to Whiteley. Watson 4 goals on the day. He is getting some attention, no question about it. Derek Katz a short stick against Watson. Watson likes this matchup. I think he wants to go. They're looking to slide. 3 players on him. He'll get a slide from 2 different sides. He's got to give it up. He doesn't give it up. Whiteley was right inside him, had an easy go to the goal.
Gutstein got a kick on that one, hit him in the shin, the senior.
Nice location.
Little kick save he had. Gutstein smoked. Gutstein, 6'3", 200, takes up a lot of the cage. Not particularly quick, but on that last shot he was.
Moving up top, misses room, and it goes wide. Okie, a little bit of room up top. They're making the 2 passes now, finding the soft spot of the zone, which is in the back of it. Knight has to shoot. He couldn't stand being out of the offense. He's a great player and just drove it to the cooker. He got a piece of the pipe, and that came back out.
He hit the pipe. Doug Knight has been quiet.
Throwing it down, that should be Virginia ball. They just threw it out of bounds as if it was a 10-man ride. A little bit of pressure, they just wanted the possession. The attendance today looks every bit as good as it was in the semifinal. A great crowd. And here's Watson again. Up front, okay, he goes wide again. So Virginia now better looks at the goal, a little more patience on offense, and putting a little bit more pressure on a goalie who just didn't play at all in the first half.
They seem to know exactly what they want to do against this zone. Took them a half. First half, their only zone goals were Watson dodging for himself. Now they're getting the ball moving. They're getting that second and third pass. They're getting some nice shots at Gutston.
Curry inside. Here comes the move to rate the ball back to Curry. Up top is Oki. Watson's begging for it on the backside. They back out and gives the zone a chance to expand. You've got to push in the one side to collapse the zone a little bit before you get the opening on the backside. Here comes inside. Oh, the stick check takes it high. Curry had room, and the slide got there in time.
Curry will shoot from anywhere. He'll let it go from 15, 18. And with a backup, it's not a particularly bad shot.
Curry asks for it, gets the cut. Again, a pipe shot on the crease. Still loose. Maybe a push call on somebody. They're taking it against Virginia. It goes to Princeton.
Virginia is so dangerous in those loose ball situations in front of the cage. Whiteley, Watson, and Knight, not the biggest players, but they're so quick. Knight has a background in hockey, and a lot of times to come up with that ball and take a quick shot, you've got to be very conscious in those garbage situations.
Watson challenging, and it comes inside of him. Here comes Princeton with a possession with the game tied at 8. Under 7 minutes to go in the third quarter. Leif Elsmo, Quinn Kessenick, Christy Lee is with us. She's down in this great event called the Lacrosse Championships for Division I.
We get it.
Eichelberger got the ball. He's behind. Big possession for Princeton. Isolation on the short stick defense. Watch out front. Massey wants to shoot it. Big save. Low. He went to the feet again. Sanderson owns the low zone. Smith was going to come up for the fast break. It's Ginter all the way. Ginter gives it to Watson. Near side. Whiteley pulls back. Whiteley looked at everybody, didn't like what he saw, and pulled back. Did not lose possession.
Whiteley always making the right decision. That time Ginter looked to push it.
Curry ropes. Gutstein has not found a comfort level yet. Virginia doing a good job of running in the guns when they get offense, and he was undefensed.
Whiteley elects to hold it out, swings it tonight, and they get a break out of the box. Curry with a lot of momentum, subbing out of the box. Little spin move, and his outside shot sets up that spin move. Defensively, you know, Curry's got the outside shot. I got to get there, play defense. That time he tucked it, turned the shoulder, and he is putting the ball on the 6x6.
Spin move took him from a right-handed shot to a left-handed shot, gave him a lot more net to shoot at, so it was a good move all the way around. Curry, don't forget, Division III player, transfers to Maryland, playing at the highest level of the game and showing that he can do it. 1-goal lead for Virginia. Face-offs 15-5 in favor of Princeton as they continue to win that part of the game. And I think Starge is trying to find a way, obviously, to stop that dominance, because that could be the difference in the game. He's got to get some of these face-off possessions.
If Virginia can extend this lead, you've got to question how long Princeton can afford to play the zone. The zone worked very well in the first half. In the second half, Virginia is tearing apart the zone.
Curry, 2-1 in the second half. Knight, 2 assists. He's starting to give it up a little bit, and that's what he has to do to win this game. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised coming into this game if Knight had the 7 assists. He will get pressure defensively. Shot up top, goes wide. Christy Lee is down below with one of the best goalies in Division I. He was Division I first-team All-American. He's seen the great offense of Virginia. Christy Lee?
We almost saw that ball right into our thighs, too, Lee.
You got the best stopper right there.
Boy, I tell you, we have Brian Doherty, one of the best goalies from the University of Maryland. We just had a goal scored. Brian, quickly talk about the goaltending situation here today.
I think both goaltenders here today are under a lot of pressure. They're both having pretty good games, but they have very good offenses on Virginia and Princeton, so they have their work cut out for them today, pretty much.
Well, things are tied up once again. Princeton just scored a goal. Leaf, let's hear about it.
Barnesbach takes it. Go ahead, Q.
Yeah, a little slipping behind the cage. David Wren for Virginia just falls to the turf, and that seems to be a slippery area. Barnesbach comes around left-handed, no slide defensively, but again, a mistake because of the turf surface.
Princeton again dominating. As they take it behind and get the offense set up. Princeton was not behind in this game for the whole first half. They controlled, were never behind. They had the 1-goal lead at the half. Virginia came out with a little bit of fire in their eye, knowing this was the last shot at it. Losing overtime game 2 years ago to the same team. Princeton has taken advantage of, I thought maybe the other way around coming in, but Princeton's been the team to take advantage of the slips of the defense. They've had 5 ties in this game, in this third quarter especially.
And I think the reason for that, Leaf, is the over-aggressiveness of the Virginia defense. Princeton plays a much more control-style defense, and in fact, in the zone, you're not asked to make that kind of play where you have to stop on a dime and change directions.
That's the point you have to make, absolutely right. Ozier now going against the short stick defense. That's Hoig, so tough. Mahoney with a good position against Hess. Had Hess's eyes in contact. Hess took his eyes off it, bounces off, and goes out of bounds.
Hess was looking to force the right wing before he caught the ball. You can see he took his head off the ball, deflected off the plastic stick, out of bounds.
Sanderson now coming way out of the crease. Whoa, with the clearing pass, easily done. Curry, the big shooter, down to Watson. Howitzer to Howitzer. Those are the big guys. Whiteley will go back to set up behind. That's actually Knight now. They roll Whiteley up to the left wing. Wren has it. He's got 3:17 left in the third. Game tied at 9. Wren now goes deep to his left. He'll take an ISO. He's got Whiteley down low for help. Ball goes right through. Really a poor move. Once you got the slide, when he was in no position to make any feed.
Now, his hands were all discombobulated. There was no way they was going to free up the stick to make the shot.
Princeton on the run, making run and gun. Hubbard. No, that wasn't Hubbard coming down. We took it in. It was Ben Strutt with the big speed on the clear. Hubbard got the first goal of the game, and really haven't heard from him since the goal department. Sanderson comes out with a gamble, and look at, he's feeling comfortable now to Smith. Working up on the far side. Here comes UVA. Game tied at 9. 2:30 left in the third.
Smith controlling that Massey matchup. One-on-one. Tommy Smith, one of the tougher defensemen in the country. Massey just doesn't match up well with him.
Inside, looking for the rocket. Great check from the ground. Puts the ball down. They get a push call on McDonough. I can tell it was McDonough who was shaking his head before the whistle finished blowing. Virginia has not had an extra man play yet. That's one oddity of this game. They haven't even had a chance to run their offense.
And that's typical of this Princeton defense. They've only had 45 fouls for 25 minutes on the course of the whole season. That's less than 2 minutes per game. They do not foul.
A little different look at the zone package. They've got Whiteley behind. Christian Cook sometimes gets back in pressure. They mix their zones right in the middle of the set. That's what makes it so tough to play on this Princeton team. Bad decision for Knight.
Cats
push call.
Princeton.
The great acting job by Knight. Look at Tierney, can't believe it. It was an acting job by Knight who really got the whistle blown. Yeah, there was a push, but was it a big push? Nice move by Knight. He knew the referee was right there. He gets the ball back.
And Doug Knight, certainly one of the strongest and toughest attackmen that we know. He takes quite a push to dump Doug Knight.
Yeah, Knight's not going down. Oh, bounce pass far side. Knight wheels in. Can't get it through the defense. Beautiful job by McDonough, who came in.
That is a gutsy bounce pass on this wet turf, especially since in the middle of the field, this field has a severe crown.
Possession's critical. Both teams fighting. Here comes UVA Red. Curry going down left. Shot from out front. It wheels around. Gutstein kicks it, and it just hit the pipe. Gutstein hit the pipe on his own loose ball. Oh, my gosh.
I don't think Gutstein has any idea where that was or how close that was to being a goal.
Whiteley trips the possession. It'll be the fourth extra man play for Princeton. And the small things add up against you. Princeton will load you up on these small technicals.
Watch the replay of this last opportunity. Virginia with some hustle on the loose balls. Whiteley and Knight, they're so tough on the loose ones. Here's Wren picking it up, and they're on the move. Watch the ball now. Gutstein gets a piece, and right there, kicks it with both his left and right foot off the pipe.
A little bit of a break for Gutstein. He only has 2 saves if you look at him. came in, hasn't what you would call taken over the game. Hasn't been that terrible, but I tell you what, Virginia has gotten the lead, now it's tied. The intangibles might make the difference. Princeton winning the face-off war with a big margin. Princeton was the only extra man plays on the day. They're 0 for 3. This is their 4th chance.
Virginia very aggressive here on the extra man defense.
And they made the 5 passes. You had to make 5 passes to get somebody open. Virginia's showing you a different look on the man down. It was Hubbard with the cannon to the top shelf.
This was a cannon of the first magnitude. This ball was moving. Watch Hess make this catch. The ball's deflected. Makes a great reaction late. And Hubbard's time and room just stings the corner. Take a look at the water on the corner of this goal. This ball is moving up in the 90s range. Look at that accuracy. That's unbelievable.
If he doesn't hit it that accurately, Sanderson has to save. Sanderson made a nice move to it. He only left him about 3 inches to hit, and he hit it.
You're not going to make that save, though. That is an absolute laser.
Virginia on the first faceoff. They control it in a while. Into the middle of the field. They can't get possession because of the footing. 14 seconds left in the third quarter. Virginia with yet another chance if they can get it inside. Under 10. Does Watson know how much time is left? He doesn't. Oh, in the helmet. Got to be a penalty. And the clock winds down. They'll start the fourth quarter with Virginia's first extra man of the day. Princeton with a 1-goal lead. All their goals in the third quarter have been high, hard shots. Sanderson owns the lower floors, but this was an opportunity for them to get it moving. The big shot, Hubbard, cannon, laser to the corner, water splashing off the rope. We're coming back to the final 15 minutes. Princeton with a 1-goal lead. UVA with their first extra man play of the day.
Hanson, the sales report was a disaster. Your group has the lowest performance record in the history of the company, and you're a total disappointment. Are you familiar with the term downsizing?
From the summer hit Flipper come the incredible Flipper Squirt Toys, only at Pizza Hut. Scar and Flipper are just $1.69 each with any pizza purchase. You can even get them delivered. Everyone will love them. Even kids. Sorry. Pizza Hut, you'll love the stuff we're made of.
Bell helmets. Courage for your head.
To apply for a Discover card, all you have to do is give us a ring at 1-800-DISCOVER. There's no annual fee. And with our cashback bonus award, the sooner you call, the sooner we can return the favor. It pays to Discover.
It's better.
Not bitter.
Surprise.
Sweet.
Ocean spray. Baby red and tangerine grapefruit juice drink.
Tangerine.
Surprise.
Very, very sweet. It's not any ordinary grapefruit juice.
Ruby red and tangerine. Crave the wave.
The NCAA Foundation supports programs that respond to the needs of student athletes. Programs include degree completion scholarships, Choices Alcohol Education Grants, Life Skills, Winning for Life, and Sports Journalism Scholarships. The NCAA Foundation, enhancing the present and future of student athletes.
This message provided by the NCAA.
We're back at College Park, a 1-goal lead for Princeton in a great game of lacrosse. But don't forget, coming up after this, we've got Major League Baseball. The Rockies and the Cardinals, 1:15 scheduled start for that one. It's going to be a great matchup of Major League Baseball. Watch out for Bichette and Langford coming up. Let's take a look now at some lacrosse. We'll take a look at the last 3 goals.
Curry for Virginia with a laser. Nice move. Spinning, beating Gutstein. And then Princeton, Bonsbach from Kent, Denver, Colorado, tying up at 9. And then this is the shot of the game right here. Hubbard, elevator shot, lifting Sanderson, top floor, penthouse.
And all their goals have been that way. In the second half, I think Tierney has made an impression on his team to shoot high if you want to score. Sanderson has eaten them up on the lower ones.
Look at the stats. Princeton outshooting Virginia. Ground balls, again, Princeton dominating the face-offs. and saves. Virginia with a 2 advantage.
That's Steens putting it all the way back down to Sanderson. They got the ball back, but no possession. So Virginia will have another chance. They failed the first chance. Really not even a great opportunity to score. Fourth quarter now, 1-goal game. Virginia's first extra man of the day. They look a little confused about where they want to be. There's Knight with a shot and an easy save for Pacho. He just gobbled that one up. Knight looks a little bit anxious to get his shots off. The 2 clearings have been just dead giveaways back to UVA. They're taking time off the clock. Watch Smith up to Wren. They'll have to hurry now. Wren clears it after doing the splits on this wet surface. Not particularly good shot so far in this extra man, Quint. It's all even, so they've lost their chance for the advantage of 6-on-5. They still have possession. And Princeton, that's what they do. They'll kill you on the little things. They're winning the face-off war. They don't let you have extra mans. They just don't foul. Washington close. Big check on the slide. The ball's down.
Watson's going to be in the crease right here. Nice defense. I think at this stage of the game, when Watson goes to the hoop, you know he's going to get a lot of traffic from the Princeton defense. Watch Strutt come over. You had Neff and Strutt, the entire defense really triple teaming Watson. Good time for Watson to go to the cage, pull it out, and beat a teammate.
Absolutely. If Watson wants to win this game, get 3 assists the rest of the game, and they probably will. They're looking at Watson coming to the cage. Princeton, 1-goal lead. You know they'll take their time. They'll be patient. Ozier, good matchup.
You don't want to fall behind this Princeton team late in the game. They have excellent ball control. Their stall offense is just fabulous.
Smith on defense. Followed up Massey pretty well. Hess. Working on Mahoney. The good check. Mahoney's got him there, but they control it back to Hess. And Hess will look for Ozier. Now Ozier's got this matchup. He kind of feels comfortable with. He wants to go against Drew Melchione. Holden Milk, that's the call. Inside shot and a goal for Princeton. Melchione could not handle Ozier, and nobody got there in time to help.
Ozier's got that imposing size. 2 goals. He's had a couple of assists as well. Ozier leaning in, 6'2", 200 pounds against Melchione. He's got about a 20-pound advantage. Look at him take the pounding with the accurate shot, not the fastest shot, but Virginia's got to help out here. This is a mismatch. Nice recognition by Princeton, and also a good job of the Princeton offense to spread the field and give their man Ozier that entire field, that left side of the field to operate. He had the time, he had the space, and that's why Virginia was slow to go.
That's the kind of thing that Princeton doesn't give you. Their slide package is so well orchestrated. They just shut down that kind of easy shot. Again, they control the face-offs, and that right now becomes the absolutely depressing part for Stargio. 14-6, they lead in that category. When it's the 4th quarter, you're down by 2, you've got to win some face-offs.
That is 8 extra possessions already, and that's going to add up to a few goals. That's going to be the difference if they can continue that domination.
Zeller with a nice stick check. Hubbard asking for a penalty. He's not going to get it. Now another big customer taking the ball, and Lawrence Smith, the freshman, 6'3", and he's got a short stick. Brad Hoig, but again, maybe the best athlete playing defense out there.
Zeller's done a good job defensively against Hubbard. Hubbard has got 2 goals, 1 on extra man and 1 early on a feed in transition.
Smith looking for help against Hoig. Hoig very comfortable keeping his feet in front of Smith. Smith getting more room. Princeton doing the same kind of one-on-one on that far side, looking to get an advantage in the wet and slippery turf. McDonough, a little bit of space. Melchione again trying to hold him. McDonough, he's got it. 3-goal lead for Princeton.
And 3 goals from McDonough. Loves the right-handed dodge. He's got good speed. It takes him a while to get up to 3rd gear. Here he is. Watch the acceleration. Big kid. Accurate shot. Earlier we saw him take that shot and put it high. That time he mixed it up and put it low. A senior. Step it up in the big game. Look at the accuracy right there. Very scoutable. We've seen McDonough do that move time and time again. It's real important to force him down the wing towards the corner of the field, because when he gets going straight towards the cage, you're in trouble.
Brand's got to come up with a face-off for Virginia if they want to stay in this game. They have not been successful. Finally, they pick one up. They get it back to Darren Mahoney. And you notice the last two possessions, both unassisted goal squint. They're just isolating to the wing and trying to cause some confusion on the defensive slide. If they get a good shot, they take it. If not, they reset it.
And they're occupying off the ball, and they're spreading the field, really giving themselves a lot of space to work.
3-goal lead on the strength of 4 straight goals for Princeton. Grant can't handle. He's going to lose a possession here. Push call. He goes to Princeton.
James Mitchell, we've talked about him off the faceoffs. And that time he got the inside position, felt the pressure on his back, and he fell to the turf.
Eichelberger will inbound this one into Pancho. They haven't scored a goal in 10 minutes. UVA has not Curry, the last one to score. Then it was 4 straight. Bonsbach, Hubbard, Ozier, and McDonough. Too much time clearing the ball into their own offensive zone. Or offside was the call.
Rare mental error.
The pressure gets to be very matter-of-fact right now. Virginia has some possession. They've got to get some pressure on Pancho Gutstein. 3 goals down. You can't waste too many of these offensive sets.
Princeton will sit back in their zone defense. They'll give him the outside shot. And let's see if Pancho can come up with the big save.
Rocket, and Pancho makes just what you called for. He looks it square in the face and pulls it down. Virginia not wasting, not taking any time to set it up. You might want to move the goalie a little bit. He had some time to really spot that shot. It was a rocket, but savable, and he makes it. Princeton now, watch as they probably set up a little bit of an isolation. They'll try to get the right matchup, and then Virginia, short stick guy.
And they will take their time here. We've got 9:30 to go, but they're going to watch, they're going to look for the right matchup, and they're going to take their time. They're going to be very patient.
Let's watch Pancho square up on this one and just make the big save on the last shot.
They give him the outside shot against the zone defense, and he read that one earlier. We watched Pancho give up that goal.
Doug Knight comes in, finally gets the backdoor feed, and this guy owns the crease when he's airborne inside of it. The first goal of the day for Doug Knight couldn't come at a better time. 12-10 to score. They're back to a 2-goal game.
And that breaks some of the momentum. Pancho setting up on the right side. Knight sneaking in on the backside. He's a pit bull. He goes straight for the jugular, straight for the heart of the goal, and there he is. Knight always ends up on the ground.
He loves his, that's his shooting range. 18 inches and in. He loves to go ahead and slam dunk.
He falls in the crease after every single shot.
The only guy I know with a shooting range of less than 3 feet. Virginia. Back to Sanderson. Big possession, and they get it. Well, they give it away. Sanderson with a sloppy clear. Gives it back to Massey. That could be the game. If this turns into a goal, mark that one on your VCR, because that could be the possession that costs them the game. 20-8 face-offs. It's been absolute dominance by Princeton.
Hess and Mahoney. Mahoney has held his own.
Shot coming, just wide. Backed up beautifully by McBean. And that is really a killer. They got the face-off. They go back to Sanderson. They just scored a goal. You've got to follow it up with another offense, especially when you're a streaky scoring team like Virginia. The comfort zone was there on the offensive end, and Sanderson just threw it away. A little bit too soft on his outlet.
Momentum-wise, that is a huge play. They haven't won many face-offs.
Tommy Smith getting behind. Sanderson comes up, makes the big save. Referees didn't want to call it. Sanderson, nice save by him. Now let's see if they really protect the ball. They've got to take better care of it. Melchione coming across out of bounds. Hubbard on the line.
Nice call. You can see his heels on the line, but Hubbard, beautiful wrap check. Beautiful wrap check against Melchione. Here it is again. Melchione trying to run by Hubbard. Hubbard proving to be more than a scorer. Just lodges the ball right here. Watch his heels. Steps right on the line. Referee right in position. Here it is again. One-handed wrap check, reaches around. Melchione loses it, but Hubbard tiptoeing the line. Referee in perfect position.
Another huge offensive set led by this senior, Timmy Whiteley. Goes back door. They're looking at that zone that's been so effective. Whiteley, Knight to his left. Up top is Oki, and this is Watson. Wren comes on. Oki, as Knight moves across. Oki's got a little room. throws it right into the stick of Gutstein. That was really no pressure shot at all. It's not challenging at all. Watch out, Hess can't pick it up. I don't know what that clear is all about. They've done it like 3 times. 7:45 left on the clock. Possession is critical, and they've been throwing it right back to Virginia.
They are panicking on their clear. They got to circle, look for the short stick, look for the midfielders to run the ball over the midfield line.
And UVA has to make it, count. They've got to put this right back in the net. They want to make those sloppy clears mean something. So far, they have not put any pressure on Gutstein. They had the one shot back door, but the shots out front, Gutstein's got the radar on him. They're not hurting him there. Knight back to Whiteley. Bounce. That was not an intentional bounce pass. Curry up front. Watch Watson. He's going to crank it. He's got rope. It's a 1-goal game. What a day for Watson.
Watson's got 5. You can see this one coming a mile away. Virginia did a good job getting the Princeton defense to rotate. The ball kicks to Watson, and watch, you can't lunge out at Michael Watson. Goes topside, look at the bounce shot. We have seen Watson mix up his shots. There's the reaction on the Virginia sideline. Stars are keeping his cool. He has been the go-to guy today.
Watson has come up huge. Very a big part of the second half. But again, face-off inside. Massey can't beat Sanderson. Sanderson with a huge save. Watch out for the clear. Fast break. Wahoos. Now only to the right. They're running. They love to run and finish it up with a gun. Let's see if they can connect. White over to Knight. Knight gets hammered. And that'll be a penalty on the sliding defense. James Mitchell goes to the box. It'll be the second extra man for UVA. Watch Sanderson.
Sanderson and Massey one-on-one. Stays big in the goal. Gets there at the last second. You can see him take that off the top of the plastic. And then at the other end, Mitchell coming in late against Doug Knight. Big turning point right there. Goal right there gives him that 2-goal cushion. We're only at that 1-goal cushion. That is a huge save.
Could mean the game. You get a 1-goal lead. You give it back, an extra man. This is their second look at the extra man. UVA not very comfortable, Quint. The first time they ran their extra man, didn't really get a lot of good hard shots on Poncho. Let's see what adjustments they make.
No, it's always tough to have your first extra man in the second half. I think you'll see a better play, some better choreography by the Wahoos.
They're shutting off Whiteley. They're taking Whiteley out of the game. They're going 5-1-4 in front. Whiteley behind the goal is being shut off. It's basically a 5-1-4 in front. Let's see if UVA makes the adjustments. Wren wants it. Wren wide open. He'll crank. Looking for rope, and it's a little bit wide left. Backed up by Princeton. And what a great move. They're there. That means you get one shot. Whiteley fell asleep. Whiteley was there being covered and just totally fell asleep.
Whiteley became a spectator, and you got to credit Strutt anticipating that shot, and he beats him to the end line. A huge mental play by Strutt.
There's the lob clear. They've been doing it all day. They just throw it out of bounds. So it'll take time off. It might not go out. It's staying in. Launched back by Sanderson. Great move by him. Now UVA will take some time to get it up. They go to the far side to Tommy Smith.
That was a sweet pass by Sanderson.
Sanderson recognized it wasn't going to go out. He had to hustle. It was a one-shot scoop. Whiteley now has to make up that mistake. Whoa, the shot goes there, and Whiteley back to back up. You can better believe that Whiteley will not miss another backup opportunity. Up front, inside, oh. Timeout call by UVA. That was a tough one because it looked like they had a little bit of room there for 2 shots. They took it out of their hands by the coaches calling a timeout. Under 6 minutes to go. It's a 1-goal lead for Princeton. We'll be back to College Park in just a moment. But it's a great day for lacrosse. Virginia against Princeton. Princeton with a 1-goal lead, rather. Next up on ESPN, we've got Major League Baseball, folks, and you will see the Colorado Rockies against the St. Louis Cardinals. Bichette against Langford. And I'll tell you what, that's great baseball coming up on ESPN following the best in college lacrosse. We're at Bird, Lee Felsmo, along with Quint Kesnick. Christy Lee's with us down in this great crowd. We've got 18 seconds left on this extra man play for Virginia and about 5:48 left in the game.
Good timeout by Starsia and Virginia. Both teams with 1 timeout. Let's see if Virginia can get a shot. Princeton has mixed it up defensively. It looks like they're playing it straight up right now.
2 men on the crease for UVA. Now Knight comes off. Whiteley behind. Wren. Big shot up front. Curry takes it, but now the extra man is over. Team's at even strength. Curry had a good shot there. He went for the bounce, and it was a little high off the turf. Turf's hard to read, Quinn, with all the moisture it's taken. It's hard to know where the dry spots are or aren't.
Curry trying to mix it up.
Whiteley behind. Coming down to 5 minutes in the game. Princeton in white with the 1-goal lead. They beat Virginia 2 years ago, 9-8 in overtime. Curry dives. He's got rope. This one's tied at 12.
Curry was a no-show in the first half, has countered with a hat trick in the second half. They have had success against the zone defense, dodging from that right-hander's position. Watson earlier, and now Curry. Take a look. He's looking to feed here, tucks his stick underneath, and then launches himself in front of the goal. Here's the reaction on the Virginia sideline. Ties it up, starts it with the timeout for the extra man. He really got control of his team, and they're focused.
And Virginia had the face-off there. They overrun the play. Checked out, and they get the ball. Beautiful job by Wren. Hinter ran right by the face-off, and what a key possession. Game tied again at 12. UVA was down by 1 at the half. They came back to take a lead, but then Princeton got themselves ahead by 3, and since then, at that 12-9 point, Virginia has answered with 3 of their own.
The failure to clear late in this game has really hurt Princeton. They're up 12-9, and they have botched 4 straight clears.
Here comes UVA. Whiteley taking a rocket right there. He wants to win so bad. The last 3 goals scored by the big kingpins from Virginia. Knight, Watson, Curry.
Poncho holding his ground. He's tough on the pipes because of his size.
He fills it up, no question about it.
Whiteley will keep you honest, though.
UVA. Whoa, Rand misses it. Wide open. Sliding, slipping. Smith can't get it. Finally tries to dump it back and just throws it away. Check puts it back down on the grass. This could be dangerous. Loose ball possession. Men in front. Wheeling inside and the push down. No call. Referees can't even follow the action. This is unbelievable. And Princeton comes up. That could have been huge. They throw it out of bounds. Crowd loves it. And Quinn, every time it's loose like that, in either end of the field, you have potential fast break and big pressure on the goalie.
Virginia is so tough to clear against. Watson, Whiteley, Knight, they're just tenacious. They've got good quickness, and they'll give you a check. Watson just lodging the ball on the far sideline just with a hammer down to the long stick. Under 4 minutes. This is obviously when each possession is going to count. 3 goals in 4 minutes for UVA. Watch in front. Cannon far side. Watson can't beat Poncho. Poncho just filled it up with that big frame of his. Took the bounce right to him. Wasn't as well placed as a lot of Watson's shots. He's had a great day. There's another clear gone wide. McDonough couldn't pull it in. Another chance for the Wahoos. Princeton has got to change up their clear. Virginia doing a good job at making them make long passes. We've seen 2 60-yard passes, and with this crown, sometimes that's a tough pass to make and to handle. Time of possession certainly in the 4th quarter favored for Virginia because of that failure to clear.
Virginia could have pulled up their camp 12-9 there, up by 3. Princeton was. This failure to clear, giving the ball back to them, and they made it count. 3 straight goals for them. Let's see if they can take the lead. It'll be the first time in a long time. Watson gives that to Curry. Big shooters out there. Tucker Rada ball, moving it in. Watson, they'd like him to take the last shot. Princeton 2 of 7 in clears this quarter, so they failed 5 times out of 7.
Princeton's got their 2 seniors in there right now, McBean and McDonough, the veterans. Tierney, I think, sensing that some of his younger players aren't handling this pressure situation as well.
Look away, feed up top. Big zone, clamps it down. Backside is open. Can they get it through? Princeton invites you to make that pass. Whiteley. Trailing players, Knight, back door. Curry just pulls out a nice floating pass. Nice patience as they get it back to Whiteley. Rocket! Wow. Curry for that one. You hear the stick check that took it a little bit out of his range.
Curry has got just a fabulous field sense. Feels the seams of the zones, gets himself into a location where he can receive the pass and then take a good shot.
real smart player. You can almost count when you play against a zone way Virginia wants to attack. If they make 4 passes successfully, you're probably going to hit an open man. Princeton hoping that you'll find one of their defensive sticks first. Whiteley trying to go behind him. He does. Right the ball out to Watson. Curry's up top. This is Curry. They seal him very quickly. Knight wants to take the game winner. Up top, Rocket, and a big save by Poncho.
Let's see if Princeton can clear. This has been their Achilles heel in the 4th quarter.
This one looks pretty easy as they move to Beckett Wolf. This is their big guy with the long stick. He is a veteran. Timeout called. The last timeout called by Princeton. They are out of timeouts. We'll take a short break. When we come back, the final 2 minutes. Princeton has the ball and a chance to win.
Murder.
My wife will kill me.
Scandal.
Did you get those kids to kill your husband?
Fame.
You're not anybody in America unless you're on TV.
Who says you can't have it all?
Who do you think is ready for me?
The most exhilarating American movie since Pulp Fiction. Columbia Pictures presents Nicole Kidman.
It's nice to live in a country where life, liberty, and all the rest of it still stand for something.
To Die For. Rated R.
What are you planning to do for the weekend?
Go to the park, beach volleyball.
I do my flowers, jogging,
Play basketball.
bicycle.
I fish, yeah.
Before you plan, watch the Weekend Outlook.
If you're planning something, you can find out what to expect. It's good to know if my weekend's going to be indoors or outdoors.
Watch the Weekend Outlook, only on the Weather Channel.
Watch the Weather Channel on Cablevision.
Bird Stadium has a sellout crowd almost, in energy at least. They are here to see a 12-12 game. We've got 2 minutes left. Princeton with the ball. Tierney talked to us earlier about what his winning play would be.
We've got a little play that we've been working on all year long, and everybody thinks we'll go to Jesse, which we will, but it's going to have a little addition to that. You might see Jeff McBean, have the ball on his stick for the last one. See.
We will see. There's Tierney right now. He called the timeout. His last timeout. He has to win it right here. He wants to win it right here. He's got possession, but Quint, it's not that easy.
First things first, 2:04 left. They've got a hold. If they're looking to take one more shot at it, they've got a hold here for over a minute and a half before they decide to go to the cage. So let's see if they go into their stall offense right away and hold for the last shot, or they pick a matchup and attack.
Melchione has had a little trouble staying on his feet. He's the short stick defender, Drew Melchione on Eichelberger. Now they get it up front. They're taking a little bit of air out of the ball. This is Hess. They're just staying in the box. They're going to hold it for a little while. Brad Hoyt playing defense here. And the ball down. Can Hoyt get it? He's got to get up and rag. Good ride, but look at the pressure that Ozier took to get the ball back. Great job by Princeton. Eichelberger. They're taking their time, setting it up. Eichelberger now back at the ball. He's going against short stick defender Melchione. Melchione has had trouble keeping his feet on some of these. The grass is wet.
Princeton's out of timeouts. Virginia has one left.
This will be their last chance to win it in regulation. Up to McBean. This is where it might start. Got a minute left. Big check. Man caught. Goes back to McBean. Watch out. He's got room. He doesn't want to do it yet. Well schooled. Tierney's team is going to take and hold the ball as he told them, so about 30 seconds left. Eichelberger comes back. They want to win it here. They don't want to give it back to Whiteley and company, who are back on the other side of the field, absolutely waiting. Eichelberger comes in. Stick check is clean. Ball's loose. Comes out. Up top. Watch out. McBean. McBean for the win. Sanderson with a big save. Ball goes to Virginia. Now they change it. They first said Virginia, but it couldn't be because they backed it up perfectly, as you would expect. Starzia arguing the call. They'll have another chance. 30. Now it's all business, Quint. 30 seconds left.
30 seconds. Let's see what kind of play they set up. Keep your eye on Hubbard up top. Number 16 for the right-handed cut with some picks in front. Ozier.
Watch the slide coming. You see the clock in regulation. Hess from behind. Great stick check, ball loose. Game down to 10 seconds. They've still got time. Ball still loose. They're losing their opportunity. They still have time, though. 2, 1. Regulation ends, game tied at 12. Virginia with a great defense. Tierney likes it. He'll take his chances in OT, just like he did in 1994. They won 9-8. And today, it'll go to OT again.
The Virginia defense holds. Mahoney doing a fabulous job. Smith and Zeller covering the cutters. Eichelberger going to the cage earlier, almost turned it over, but Princeton got the loose ball. McBean missed the cage. Face-off will be crucial.
We'll take a short break when we come back. A 4-minute period of sudden death. Tierney can't believe it. He lost the chance, but he'll have another. We'll be right back to Bird.
And on that day, a team of men was assembled to battle the forces of evil.
Au revoir.
Since NASCAR first began, there have been over 1,000 races, with more than 10,000 drivers and mechanics, and millions of spectators. And as NASCAR continues to grow even bigger, so has the One Part Store serious enough to be the only official auto parts store in the history of NASCAR. Western Auto, and Western Auto's new Parts America.
Back at Bird Stadium, it looks like the rain has stopped. It's a little bit of water on the field, but the overtime's getting ready to start. Let's flash back to 1994. It was an 8-8 game as it went into overtime. The play was set up for a crease shot. It missed. It went to Kevin Lowe. He gets the follow-up, backed up perfectly, as they do at Princeton, and that was the winning shot in 1994. Princeton beats UVA 9-8 in OT. Today, the outcome yet to be decided. We've gone 4 quarters, and it's 12-12.
Face-off is huge. We're in sudden death. All it takes is one goal, a lot of pressure on the goaltenders, a lot of pressure on the face-off specialists. It'll be Mitchell for Princeton, who has been dominating with 20 wins and only 9 losses. Virginia has rotated some players in. Let's see who they come out with.
No overtime history of these two teams.
7 championships have gone into overtime, most recently in 1994.
It's a great environment for the best in the game of lacrosse. Quite an event here for the NCAA championship weekend. Semifinals on Saturday, Division III finals, and the Division I finals that you are witnessing here. Sanderson, what a half he's had. A great game. He has done everything they've asked him to do. He will not be the deciding factor because his game has been up to par. The last few faceoffs, Virginia has looked better with a lot of wing help. Look at that control. Easy faceoff victory for Princeton. And a timeout called. First timeout for Princeton. They will set up yet another winning opportunity.
And Mitchell has done it all day. 21 wins, 9 losses. He has been the difference as far as time of possession is concerned. We're tied up, but Mitchell certainly with an awesome effort.
UVA now having to do the very tough task of stopping them on that. They held them defensively for 2 minutes before this overtime period. Now the ball's back. They've got to do it again. If Virginia happens to get the ball back, we want to show you. We heard Tierney on his. If Virginia gets it back, Timmy Whiteley will tell us what he thinks they'll do to win this game.
They call a play called Jumanji. It's a 1-4-1, and we set it up with him, and he has a dummy dodge up top, and you just have the 2 attackmen, Doug and Michael, curl around off picks. Usually find them. I guess we beat Brown in overtime with that play, and Michael scored the game winner, and we could go the other way with Doug.
Well, it might be tough against the zone. The 1-4-1, though, will give you some opportunity inside. You've got to be tough against the zone, though.
Yeah, against the zone, you'd probably swing it behind a Whiteley. We'll see, though. They've got to play defense first, though.
Big opportunity here for Princeton to win it in OT. It was the same end of the field in that tape you just saw from '94 as you see Watson come out.
5 goals for Michael Watson today. But all the pressure right now on the Virginia defense. They had a 2-minute stop late in the ball game. Princeton could not get the goal. Look for Princeton now to isolate the matchups. They've got McBean and Lawrence Smith out there. It'll be interesting to see who they attack and where.
Well, Lawrence Smith will get the ball with Ginter, the long pole on him. You know Brad Hoig is out there, and what is his matchup? He is on McBean. They're trying to get McBean free. Hess comes up to set a pick for McBean. Lawrence Smith, there's a pick by McBean. In check, over, good check, no call. Push will be called. They won't take it away with an extra man. I don't think any referee wants to put this in an extra man situation. Tierney wants it, they won't get it. It'll be a possession call, goes back to Princeton.
Virginia is trying to match up Ginter on the ball. He's their best checker up top. He's a takeaway specialist.
Slide coming in. Sliding off to Yoni. Now out to Lawrence Smith, the big guy, against Brad Hoyt. Smith with a side to watch out in front for the win. Championship, Princeton 96. Cannot believe it. Watson did everything he could. Princeton just did all the little things that accumulate over the period of a game, like face-offs, and it took its toll.
Face-offs just enabled them to get this last possession in sudden death. Lawrence Smith finding Hubbard inside with a 13-12 victory. The third national championship in the 90s for Princeton.
And they have never lost if they've gotten to this game. They are 3-0 in championship games with Tierney. You saw Smith there for a moment.
Two great squads giving it all they could.
A great day for Princeton Lacrosse.
Pancho Gutstein coming off the bench in the second half. And Sanderson certainly held his own down the stretch.
The amazing thing is, Quentin, we'll see these same cast of characters almost, except for Whiteley predominantly, on the field next year.
Oh, Princeton's scary. That attack, 3 sophomores.
Let's take a look at the winning shot.
Lawrence Smith dodging left hand. You'll see Hubbard. Hubbard on a front swing, beating Sanderson. Lawrence Smith, nice look in front. Little slow off-ball defense by Virginia, and Hubbard makes it count.
One of the great things about Hubbard is he gets great location. That one had the best.
This is a team we're going to be seeing for the next couple of years in Sanderson. That's such a tough save in sudden death overtime with all the pressure of the world.
We'll talk about this.
Overtime. The Princeton team under Tierney take home the championship for 1996, and Virginia did everything but win this game. Ginter, with his takeaway checks at the end of the game, had the ball on the ground, could not get the possession.
And Virginia battled back. It was Princeton up 12-9. Virginia came storming back to tie it up 12-12. Give him a lot of credit. Coach Bill Tierney, his third national championship.
We'll be back with final comments on our ESPN coverage of the championship in Division I lacrosse. Stay with us. It's a win for Princeton.
Bell helmets. Courage for your head.
Hi, who's this?
Mel.
What are you thinking about, Mel?
Something sweet.
Like what?
Caramel?
Caramel's so different. What would you like to do with it?
I'd cover it with roasted peanuts.
Roasted peanuts and creamy caramel? Mel, you're making me so hungry.
What you want is a payday.
Bird Stadium, the successful and victorious Princeton Tigers. What a day for them. They play perfectly, Quentin, and that's the secret to this team. They just don't make many mistakes.
They got out to a good start early, up 3-0. At halftime, it was 6-5. And then in the third quarter, offensive explosion for Princeton. They scored 4 goals in a row, end of third quarter, beginning of fourth quarter to go up 12-9, but Virginia battled back. Princeton had problems clearing the ball late, and we went into overtime.
And then, of course, Princeton had 2 chances to win it. One at the end of regulation, as we look at Dom Starsia, and at the beginning of OT, they set up a play. Virginia did a great job of defending it, got it on the grass, couldn't get the possession.
No, they couldn't, and James Mitchell for Princeton just doing a great job controlling the faceoffs all day, really, which led to this possession in sudden death overtime. They won the faceoff, called timeout, and set up a play.
Let's take another look at the winning goal. It starts with the big freshman, 6'3", Lawrence Smith.
Lawrence Smith, only a freshman, dodging against Hoig. Hoig does a great job forcing him down the wing, but Hubbard swings around front. Slow defense right there. You can't give Hubbard that shot. Here it is again. Hoig, nice job in front. Hubbard with the righty cannon. We've seen him light it up. Game-winning goal. Hubbard opened the scoring up in the first quarter and ends it in overtime. And Princeton wins their 3rd national championship. It's an every other year thing, it seems, for this Princeton team. 1992, 1994, and 1996.
And this is the first #1 ranked team, #1 seeded team to win this one since, I think, about 4 years now. For 4 straight years, it was the #3 seed, which Virginia was, that took home the championship. They gave this crowd everything you could expect. A beautiful job of top-level lacrosse. Hubbard getting the winning goal, as you might expect. If you came in and wrote the script, you'd say, well, Hubbard's going to be the go-to guy. And they found a way to get him the ball. Dom Starsia frustrated yet again, but he is one of the best with a fantastic program at UVA.
This program, they are fun to watch. I love the way they've been playing lacrosse this season. Run and gun style, beautiful goals. Knight and Watson are recruiting.